Is this a conspiracy? Crucified for my sin.
Lost within my plans for life, it all seems so
Oi, Gunny, what's going on, legend? Hey, bro, I will call you tonight, bro. Sorry, I've been so under the pump. All right, that's what's going there. I think it'll be fine there. What's going on anyway, Gunny, MPA, Jugs? Thank you, brother. I guess you took my youth. What's going on anyway, legends? We've got Little Bluebird, Kevin Kirkland, Jamie Brock, Linda, Nugger, Gunhead, MPA. What's going on? All right, hang on. We'll turn this down a little bit. What's the sound like, guys? Because I'm using my my DJI mini mic mini. Oh, thank you, Little Bluebird. Yeah, so absolutely awesome. I'm super stoked at that. I believe you're talking about the 10 million views. So we hit 10 million views. Well, it was at about 11:58 last night, actually. What's going on, Dan Kinner? Who else we got here? We got Tony Costanzo. What's going on, legend? Oh, Spook's here too. What's going on, legend? Cunning Linguistics. What's going on, skis? Dan Kinner, Chris Dumia. What's going on, legend? Lisa Mason. What's going on? I'm going to turn that down a little bit more. But wait, can you guys tell me, is that music too loud? If the music's too loud, just let me know. All right, yep, sweet. Down, music, down. Yeah, I just need, so like when we go live and that, if it's too loud, I just need you guys to tell me, because I can't tell. Like, to me, it sounds fine. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously I'm not hearing my own voice, so like it sounds fine. But yeah, so if you guys just tell me. But I should be. All right, nice. So yeah, well, there you go. What I can't believe I still haven't done the video. I've been so fucking under the pump the last couple of days, if I'm honest. But I still can't believe the last live when I was like stupid headphones and through the headphones and then yeah, I hit the incense, thought I was going to catch my house on fire, went to jump up to stop my house from catching on fire, knocked the fan over. It was the best Benny Hill moment ever. What's going on, Pasha? Who else we got here? What's going on, Peter? Way better? Oh, yeah, nice. I'll tell you what, I don't ever claim to be like tech savvy. As a matter of fact, I'll probably tell you that I'm the exact opposite. But I have found that these little beauties are absolutely awesome. The sound quality that comes out of these little things is insane. So, just so you guys can see how big they are, right? So they are literally that big, yeah? And a bit of a reference. God, we don't carry real money anymore, do we? All right, here we go. A bit of a reference. Here's a AA battery. We all know what a AA battery looks like. And you can't get that. The sound is like insane, right? So you can tell they're tiny, right? But there's a AA battery, yeah? And you can see how small they actually are. So, I mean, they're not really much wider than that, to be honest. Maybe 1.5. I can't remember that group I follow on Facebook, and they measure everything in bananas. They're like 3.5 bananas. Oh, thank you, Pasha. An extreme ability of views. Congratulations, man. Massive. I know. Do you know what? So, like, I don't know if you guys remember. So it wasn't that long ago. I'll have a look now, right? So I believe it was 8 million. I can't remember doing a post saying that we've made it to 9 million views. I reckon quite possibly it could have even been 7 million, which was only a month and a half ago, which is crazy, which means that, well, I'll tell you exactly how long ago it was. But yeah, thank you so much. And for those of you that don't know, so last night at about 11:56 or something like that, 11:58. I can't remember the exact time, but it was very close to being tomorrow. We hit 10 million views. So crazy. 10 million. Which is crazy. And so as a matter of fact, I am also now it depends how you look at it. So in regards to my subscriber base, our subscriber base, we are now the largest true crime channel in YouTube Australia. So, all right, now I know people are going to say, oh, Spanion, you know what I mean? And all respect to Spanion, but I don't think he really does the true crime and prison stuff anymore. He really just does his own thing, and all respect to him. But but by all accounts, we are now in front when it comes to that. So that was another achievement that we made over the last 24 hours, which is massive to me. So, and I know that every single person in the chat here thinks the exact same. We're a team. It's a team effort. I couldn't do this without you guys. And crazy stuff. So, as it turns out, it's only, so I'll be straight up honest, right? So as it turns out, it may only be by about 40 subscribers, but I am still in front. If you don't count Spanion as a true crime, Australian true crimer. Fucking crazy. What about that? That's crazy. And I can tell you something right now, like, that is information right there that just pushes me to do bigger and better things. So I've got, as you guys know, my cars I've got, but like, here's the truth, right? So as you guys know, I took the, I need to be straight up with you guys now. I know there's going to be a few people in the chat that are going to be shattered, but, so, like, I need to be straight up, right? So, as you guys know, I was going to start doing YouTubes on doing up my Statesman. But, yeah, after a little bit of back and forth and whatnot. So I realised that my Statesman needed a lot more work done to it than I originally thought. And I was just like, I really don't even have the time to be doing like car YouTubes, but I know that everyone wanted that, so I was going to do it. And then I was like, I really just can't be bothered with it. So straight up, I sold my Statesman, and I have over the last few days been looking at new vehicles, and so I've been looking at two vehicles in particular, right? And so I was absolutely shattered. I was pretty sure I was going to be the owner of a new vehicle. Hello, Mumsy, Upside Nate. Anyone that I've missed in the chat, I'll say g'day in a moment. Yeah, I've been hot on the trots of buying a new car, right? So I sold my Statesman. And so here's the truth. I actually sold my Statesman for double the price that I bought it. So fucking winning. That was awesome. And so I wanted to buy, I have two cars that I particularly like, right? I don't care about, do you know what I mean? I'm 42 years old. I don't need a fast car. Do you know what I mean? I don't care if my car does burnouts. I don't care. Do you know what I care about? I care if my car is roadworthy and doesn't get me in trouble. That's all I care about. And so anyway, I was a bit of a smart person about it, and I was like, I need to get an SUV. And this is why, right? I was like, I need to get a full drive or a decent SUV, not a city SUV like. And then, so because obviously you guys know we're about to step out there in the real world and get amongst it and stuff like that. And, you know, and so I knew that I needed a good vehicle that was going to enable me to do that, right? So these are my two picks of vehicles. I'll give you a quick look, right? So I don't know if you guys know what a Range Rover Evoque is, or they are also known as a Land Rover Discovery Sport. So Land Rovers and Range Rovers are the same car. I'm going to have people coming back at me and say, no, they're not, but they are made by the same people is what I mean. And so a Range Rover Evoque, which is four-wheel drive. It's not like a super four-wheel drive. I thought I don't need a fucking do you know what I mean? Like a Nissan, I don't need, or a Toyota. I don't need a Land Cruiser. I don't need do you know what I mean? I don't need one of those. So I'll show you quickly. So I'm in talks at the moment. So hopefully tomorrow I'll be in a new car. But I'm not going to lie. Yep, I need a vehicle that can take me off-road. And I agree, right? And so these are the two vehicles. So like I said, the Range Rover and a Jeep Grand Cherokee, right? And so I was going to buy this Range Rover Evoque or Land Rover Discovery. They're the same car, but a Land Rover Discovery has a few different cars. They have a big one and a short wheelbase. But and so the dude sold it on me. I was so fucking shattered. And I've not had the best week with cars this week. I'm not going to lie. So I've had two different cars that I was going to buy. So, all right. So this is the Jeep that I hopefully buy tomorrow. So that is for all of you car heads out there. I know that there's going to be people asking, and I can't really see the chat right now. So that is a turbo diesel Jeep Grand Cherokee. And so this is all right. And so if you don't know, that is what hang on, too much gamma. Look at me talking all technology. All right, hang on. I'll just turn the brightness down on my phone, because I'm smart now and I know stuff. All right, so that is a Range Rover Evoque or a Land Rover Discovery Sport. So yeah, obviously, yeah, I hope that this. But if I'm honest, like I actually can't believe how much scams there are on Facebook Marketplace. It's a fucking joke, and Mark Zuckerberg, you need to fucking pull your socks up, mate. And if I ever make it over there, I'm gonna ask for a meeting with you, Mark Zuckerberg. But yeah, you need to pull your socks up, mate. There's too many scammers on Facebook. But not only that, now that we're on the Facebook chat, what is with Facebook? I don't understand it. I do not get it. So they have children on Facebook. Yes, they just changed the laws, this and that, blah, 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 right? But I know that there's 100 people in the chat. Well, there's not. There's 67 people in the chat right now that will agree with me. What is going on with Facebook right now? Like, I am like going through my Facebook stories, and then next thing you know, it's like a dead set 1980s thrash session porno comes up on my Facebook, and it's like, what the fuck? I get in trouble for saying fuck on Facebook all the time, actually, and I'm like, you can't get any more full frontal than that. It's like 100% Pornhub style stuff. I don't want you guys to hear me eating. How sad is it? How sad is this, right? How sad is it that we live in a society where you have to expect scamming? Like, I think it sucks. I think that, like, we are, once again, I'm not technology savvy, so I don't know, but I believe by the things that we are, how is it that we are so technologically advanced and hackers every day can hack you on Facebook? The most popular social media out there. I don't get it. So, seems like another Cambridge media thing. If you know, you know. Oi, Dubby. So here's the truth, right? I'm very simple, yeah? So I can be very simple. You guys would actually be quite surprised. So, Ryder's been at his best mate's joint for the last few nights. And so when Ryder's not here, I can be quite simple. When I have to be a normal dad when he's here, it's different. But when I'm by myself, I am quite simple. So I will go and buy, like, this is me, yeah? I don't go and buy X amount of food for Monday's meal, X amount of food for Tuesday's meal, X amount of food for Wednesday's meal, X and so on and so forth, right? I don't do that. This is me, yeah? 100%. But you guys know already, right? So I either go to the butcher's or I go to the supermarket and I do this. I go bang. So it's very important for me to walk every day, right? So I walk every day. And so the easiest way for me to do that is by going to the supermarket. And yeah, so it's a good way for me to connect with my supersized dog as well. But anyway, knock 2 bars down that take the edge off. Yeah, so I'm pretty simple, yeah. So I'll go buy. I'm not going to lie though. Like I don't know what the butcher's done to change their Kievs, but they changed them and they don't taste the same, and I don't like them. But yeah, I'll buy like a week's worth of chicken Kievs. I'm simple, very simple, and I will just eat that. And like as you guys know, I am on like a ketosis diet of sorts. I only eat once a day, and I really solidly stick by that. I only drink diet cordial. And yeah, but it's important for me to walk every day for my MS, yeah, because it is something that is degenerative. I know that there's a legend in the chat that can absolutely like concur with what I am saying, and so it's important for me because especially now, like I got diagnosed when I was 30 years old with MS, right? So I am 42 now. It's 12 years ago. And I'm not going to lie. So I actually thought that I was misdiagnosed for so long. And I actually used to say that to neurologists. I'm like, I don't think you guys have diagnosed me correctly. And it was like almost like clockwork. I swear to God. I was like, I don't think you have diagnosed me correctly. Like I'm sweet. I don't have any problems wrong with me. I don't have anything wrong with that like that. Yes, I had certain issues that were going on. One of them was my bladder, like pissing like 27 times a day, done my head in. But yeah, like I didn't really have many I didn't have many side effects from my MS at the start, and I actually thought I was misdiagnosed. And then I swear to God, it was almost like clockwork. And I swear this is how karma works too. And especially if you're someone that's living a life outside the realm of good person, then I believe that karma affects you more than the average person. And so I swear to God, the moment I started saying that I believe I'm misdiagnosed, although you couldn't have paid me enough money, I would never have said that in court. But and then I swear to God, it was almost like clockwork. The moment I went and had my first session with the neurologist at St. Vincent's de Paul and said, I think you guys have diagnosed me wrong. I swear it was like a week later. Ask my mum, she'll tell you. So my mum, I've always told you guys, my mum's always been my number one supporter all the time throughout my whole prison life. And had it not been for my mum, I wouldn't have been able to get through it. And that's the truth. And so my mum will tell you, right? So the week before before my mum moved to Queensland, she used to live in Cranbourne, and she used to come to Port Phillip every weekend to come and see me. She used to go to Barwon every weekend to see my brother. And I swear to God, my mum was actually going through cancer at the time, and still we would tell mum not to come, but you could not keep my mum from coming to the prison. Yeah, that's my mum. I always say it. She's my number one fan, my number one supporter, always has been, always will be, right? So, but anyway, mum will tell you, she came the weekend before and I was sweet. We were talking about it. Obviously, I had certain smaller things that were giving me irrits. That's all I can really say. It was just irritable. And then I swear to God, one day I woke up and I went to get out of bed, and this is exactly what happened, right? I went to get out of bed, and it was almost like I fucking cartwheeled. So, oh, sorry, Zeusy. I didn't see you there. I almost ran over Zeusy. Right. So I went to get out of bed, and this is exactly what happened, right? So I jump up out of bed, and I go to step off, and I literally cartwheeled straight into so the wall's pretty close when you're in the bed at Port Phillip, right? And I literally knocked myself out. That's how hard I hit the wall. Knocked myself out. And then I remember, so it must have been just before muster, because I remember waking up and all the screws were like surrounding me. And remember, I've told you, yeah, I am dangerous to wake up. And it's screws that done that to me. So like, fuck them. This is exactly what happened, right? I woke up and I seen, and so like they're trying to take my pulse. And so I noticed that my pants were down, right? And I'm like, that's the first thing I noticed. I'm in prison, my pants are down, and I've got screws kneeling around me, right? So anyway, I jump up, went bang, cracked a screw straight away. Anyway, that's another story. But so that's the first day that I realized that maybe I do have MS. And so anyway, I got ambulance straight to St. Vincent's de Paul because I knocked myself out as well. And like, obviously, you know, me cracking the screw as well. They thought I was having some kind of episode as well, but I wasn't. I was just like, I don't even know. I don't know. I was like, I woke up, they were there, fucking smacky, who cares? And so anyway, went to hospital and they were like, yep, this is exactly what's going on. You're going through a relapse period right now. You have remitting, relapsing multiple sclerosis. And yeah, that's the day. Zeus, I love you so much, but you are way too close to my chicken Kiev right now. Did you see that? He looked away straight away. He's like, no, I'm not. You are. Look at this dog. Oh, he's a dirty boy. He's a dirty boy? Yes. He's a good boy. All right, I'll give you some, but like, back off, buddy. I swear, if you spit on my food, you're going outside. I need you to see how close his head is to my food right now, yeah? So, like, his nose is there, my plate's here. It's like this far. And he's like literally going, Rah! No. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Out now. You don't own me. He's like, yes, I do. Did you ever get treated differently by other inmates when the word got out about my MS? So here's the truth, right? So when I got diagnosed with MS, I was in Scarborough South. So I say this all the time, right? Scarborough South is the most violent prison unit I have ever been in. Now, if it's not the most violent unit at the time, it's always Scarborough North that is the most violent, right? So these are two prison units that are actually joint on, but they're separated by a fence. So there was actually a time, I know there's people in the chat that will second what I'm saying here because the newbies wouldn't know. There was a time when Scarborough South and Scarborough North were in the same yard, right? There was a time, very early, but there was a time. And so when I got my end diagnosis, I was in Scarborough South. And the worst thing was, so I was in, which is like, so at the time, Scarborough South, excuse me. Hey, anyone in the chat who I've missed, I'll say g'day in a moment. So when I got diagnosed, right, I have a severe needle phobia, right? And I know you guys are looking at me right now and going, you are fucking literally covered in ink and you have a needle phobia. Yep, I do. And so I'm not even going to lie. My first few tattoos were very challenging. Not for me, for my tattooist. And so, yeah, so, oh yeah, Scarborough's crazy, right? And so I have a massive needle phobia, and I was in Scarborough South. And so the only medications that were available at the time were medications that I had to get injected once a week, once a month, or even there was one that was every day. So here's the absolute truth. Only until recent times, so JD will be able to, so JD's openly spoke about his MS on the channel, so that's why I brought it up. But like, so the medication for MS was crazy at times. And so my medication, cut a long story short, I didn't want to, so my thought was this, all right, fair enough, you've got to do what you got to do to survive. But this was my thought. When I get out, I knew I was going to get custody of my children, right? And so I was like, I'm going to be a single dad and I'm going to have needles in the house. Fuck that. Like, no. And like, I'm telling you, this is how much I am against needles, right? I have never, ever, ever, and I've had many of friends and lost many of friends that have used needles, but I have never once used a needle in my life for intravenous drug use to get stoned. Do you know what I mean? And so I have a legitimate fear. And so JJ will be able to tell you what it's like when I go to hospital, when they tell me that I have to have a needle, and it's almost game on straight away. And I automatically turn into Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, because at that time, I'm like, I need you guys to understand, right? I have a phobia like you're scared of snakes, like you're scared of spiders. Like, so imagine someone throwing a snake on you or throwing a spider on you, and imagine what that would do to your head, So that's what I'm like with needles, right? And so anyway, long story short, all right. So long story short, fuck yeah, Tex, badoosh. And so obviously at the time, like I said, the only medications that were available were needle medication. And so I really, really, really fucking fought the law on that. And I was like, I went to the psych about it and everything. And I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I can't fucking do it. Like, I need you to understand that I'm violent, You know it. You're the person they call when I fucking lose my shit, You're the psych. You're my psych here in prison. Don't fucking let them do this to me. I'm going to end up with more prison time. Like, I promise you. If they come into my cell tomorrow morning to give me a fucking needle, I promise you, I am going to fucking hurt someone. And so anyway, long story short, I got moved, right? I got moved that night, actually. So because I threatened the officer and the screw that told me they were going to take me down to the hospital to give me my first needle, right? And I was like, no, you're not. Anyway, long story short, I said, like, I will fucking kill both of you. Like, I'm telling you, don't fucking do this to me. Anyway, so they sent me to the psych ward. I'm not joking. They sent me to the psych ward, and because I think that they thought that the psych ward was gonna allow me to have a needle, and I was just like, so I went to the psych ward, was talking to people that thought they were Jesus Christ, legitimate, and then they told me that they're going to send me to St. Vincent's because there's a new medication available, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, this medication is called fingolimod gelenia, right? And so this thing was like the golden fucking, the path to the Wizard of Oz for me. Do you know what I mean? It was like, I don't have to have a needle, blah, blah, blah. But here's the only downside to that. So when it first came out, it wasn't on the PBS. And so it was going to cost the prison. This is my whole point of this, right? So it was going to cost the prison $72,000 a month for me to be on it. And so there was actually a time when it was $72,000 a week. They changed it to monthly, blah, blah, blah. And so the jail actually, so I realized that the jail were actually trying to get me in trouble and sending me to the slot so I couldn't go to St. Vincent's to start this medication. I didn't realize until after, and it was actually a screw that told me what they were doing. And so here's my point. Scarborough South, I was in Scarborough South. Someone said to me, weren't you scared that people, because I was vulnerable, yeah? Here's the truth. Up until that time when I fucking couldn't walk, I didn't think that it was an issue. And as a matter of fact, I used to go down the gym every single night. I used to spar with different blokes, boxing. And I used to, do you know what I mean? I was pretty fit. And yeah. So and so what actually happened was they were deliberately getting me in trouble and sending me to the slot so they didn't have to start me on this medication. And then it was a screw that actually came to me. And obviously I won't name this screw. Now, I've only ever said this about 3 different screws, that I have respected 3 different screws, yeah? And one of them is for this reason, because he went out of his fucking way to help me out. And he put himself in danger, so to speak, by helping me out rather than his brethren. And so it was actually that screw that got me to St. Vincent's to get me started on the medication. And actually they fucked around that much that by the time I got to the hospital, it was off the PBS. And yeah, it was crazy. Oh, holy shit. Wait. Oi, JGB, thank you for the $2.99. And wait. And thank you, Barb, you absolute legend. Thank you so much. Sorry, guys. Do you know the reason I don't look at the chat while I'm going on a story that someone's asked me to talk about is because I get so sidetracked and I will forget what I'm talking about. So that's why I do that. But yeah, thank you, legends. Thank you. I was just thinking about the wagons, true. Fuck. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to lie. So, yeah, I think that was one of the recreational drugs that I was taking at the time that I actually thought was helping me. Give me one moment, guys. Zeus, if you keep sitting right behind me, I'm going to keep running over you with my chair. You silly boy. All right, so I just killed 3 birds with 1 stone. Should alleviate me from leaving now. My antidepressant is a weight gainer. Do you know what? Here's the truth, Rhonda. Absolute truth. There isn't one medication that they use for mental health. So I'll just say mental health and realize that that is a very broad spectrum. Yeah. There is not one. There's not one drug that they give you for mental health that doesn't help you with your weight gain. True fact. So these things have got a really, really strong. Listen to me being all technical. Neodymium magnet. It's so strong. Like this thing is so strong. But yeah, I don't use it. I just use the clip. It's easier. Oi, thank you, Knox. Thank you so much. I absolutely am blessed to have the family that I have. I am 100% blessed, and I think I make it quite evident all the time. I am very much a family man. I am all about my family, and yeah, I absolutely know that I am blessed to have the family that I have. Now, right now, at times there would be some professionals that would absolutely disagree with you there, because at times, myself and my siblings really push the boundary in society, and like I always say, I'm a realist, and so I'm one of those, you make your own bed, you got to lie in it type of dudes. But I'm also one of those dudes that believes that everyone deserves a second chance, and if you legitimately deserve a second chance and legitimately want to do that second chance, yeah. Was that the Willie days? So the Willie, oh, that was so long ago. I didn't realize how long ago I was back in the chat. Tell me about it. Stupid psych meds made me a fat ass. Yeah, they do it. And there isn't many psych meds, like there isn't one actually that doesn't put weight on you. And that's a fact. Like, yeah. I actually, it's not something that I'm proud of, but I am, if you guys know what a MIMS guide is, so I have been known as the human MIMS guide. I made it my thing to know about medications I was sticking in my system, and yeah, I was never too far away from a MIMS guide. If you guys don't know what a MIMS guide is, that's a book that tells you about every single medication that is available for humans. Oi, JD says this. Oi, JD, you bloody legend. Gardouge. All right. Don't worry. I'm going to get to you other legends that have donated as well. And I think you're absolutely right. So the reason I moved from Queensland is because the weather up there was not doing me any favors with my MS and was like crazy. So yeah, I agree that this time of year really messes with people like myself and JD with MS, or anyone with a neurodegenerative disease, actually. So, Badoors, thank you, JGP. Thank you, legend. Like I said, I'll get to yours. Oh, wow, I went way far. Oh my God, I can't find it now. All right, so Tex, here's the truth, right? So it all depends on what kind of metabolism you have. They're the people that get affected by weight with medication. So it all depends on what kind of metabolism you have. And here's the truth. So thank you again, Barb. Actually, so it's too far back up in the chat for me to go. I can't go any further. So thank you so much. And I'm very, very appreciative to all you legends. Postcard Bandit is one of my all-time favorite movies, like one of my absolute favorite movies. Drew, we are glad you're here, Lisa, and we're glad everyone's here. We are a very unique group of humans and doggies. And doggies. And doggies. Yeah. Speak. Speak. What's that? That's not a speak. Speak. Oh, the next door neighbour Kelpie barks louder than you, bro. Speak. 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 All right, there you go. I don't know about these neurosurgeon neurologists. Whoa, that really got out of there really quick. They have me tripping more needles, and I'm like Biff when it comes to needles. Oi, and that's the worst thing. If you have any kind of neurodegenerative something, yeah, it's a lot of that. Thank you. Pitties are the best. So right, so he's not a pitty, right? He is a 80-kilo American bully. He is a very big dog. He actually really, really quantifies the size of a pit bull. Yeah, he's so much bigger than a pitty. But here's the truth, right? So if you were going to explain to somebody what an American bully looks like, you would say a pit bull. But here's the truth. So many people try and tell me they're still the same dog. No, they're not. They're not. A pit bull, an Amstaff, a pit bull and an Amstaff is the exact same bloodline. They're the same dog, but a pit bull and a bully, not the same dog. A bully's only been around for about 22 years now. Oh yeah. So that series, so the new series that is on Binge, which has some of the best Australian series on there, mind you, is called Run, and it is fucking amazing. It's really, really good. And I'm someone who's done prison time with one of Brendan Abbott's co-accused. He was one of my best friends in prison. He's the one that in the movie they call BB. They gave him a different last name in the movie, but they both name was Brendan. And so, yeah, it's really, really on the ball with some of the stuff that they talk about. So the movie, at the time when they made the movie, they couldn't put certain things in the movie because there was certain court cases that were going ahead, and they couldn't put certain things in the movie. But the series, obviously, Brendan Abbott's been in prison now since 1997, so maybe 98. But yeah, he's been in prison for almost fucking 30 years. And he's been in solitary confinement for that long too. Oi, kui. I am hanging for the next season too. So that's what I was going to say. So they've actually done it really well. So in the movie, they really had to kind of splotch it out and section it out. But in the series, they've really, really done it well. So Brendan Abbott had already escaped from prison two times before the next major character came into play in that story. And yeah, I'm glad that they did it the way they did. It's so good. Do you have an opinion on why Desi is no longer being called a sovereign citizen? I do, actually. I do. I believe that. So here's the truth, right? You guys will have noticed this as well. I've done a video tonight that's doing really, really well, actually. But like, here's the truth. So from the very start, they tried to make out Desi like he was Hannibal Lecter. And so the video that I'd done a reaction to tonight was actually, so obviously the incident happened on the 26th of August. And so this video was brought out at the very start of September. So only a few days after it happened. And they took it down. Like a lot of mainstream media channels have taken their videos down because obviously about a month and a half ago now, the new free speech laws came out, which does not allow you free speech, mind you. And so, but it's just crazy, the amount of shit. This is the truth. This is what I believe, yeah? And I don't get it. I follow conspiracy theorists, but I don't fucking bring conspiracy theorists here to YouTube, my YouTube, our YouTube. And I honestly believe this, right? I believe that, I don't believe that the police think he's dead, and I think you all believe that too. And I'll give you a couple of examples why I don't believe that. So I'll use one major example from the start, right? And that is, all of a sudden, every single mainstream media, not just one, not just two, every single one of them went and pulled nearly every single video off from YouTube, off their fucking websites. And I believe it's because, so they automatically came out. So the other day, 5 days ago, they said, righto, we believe that Desi might still be alive. Well, they didn't actually say that, let's be clear. But they didn't say that they believe that Desi was dead. And then all of a sudden today, they have said that 100% Desi's dead. But like at the same time, they're trying to get us to believe things like in that news article that I'd done a thing on tonight was so wild. I actually couldn't believe that they put that back out there for the public to see, because some of the accusations that they make in that are like next level. Not anymore. Oi, so Stuart, not anymore. We don't. Here's the truth. So the truth is this, right? That up until about a month and a half ago, there was such a thing as free speech in this country. And, you know, bless Australia's cotton socks for not bowing down to wokeism until recent times. But, you know, now this is how real it is, guys, and you guys need to understand. I get emails all the time from crazies, right? So if someone goes to the police and say that you have said anything, now this includes social media, Facebook, you know, if you've said anything in any type of context, you have said anything. Now, whether it be via message, text message, DM, blah, 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 right? So if you have said anything, one thing that makes Joe Blogs feel uncomfortable, guess what? Joe Blogs goes to the police and says, all right, Biff just fucking done a Facebook post that made me feel rather uncomfortable and I'd like to seek legal action, right? And so here's the truth as well. So you know how domestic violence payouts work? Same thing. Same thing for this bullshit too, right? So if you are a victim of hate speech or free speech, which I rather like to call it rather than hate speech, These are all things that can happen. And guess what? You can literally say to someone, right? I can at times be very opinionated, right? So let's say, for instance, if someone came in here right now and was being a troll and I said, oi, fuck off, you maggot, right? So I'm talking about those little things that flies have, by the way. But yeah, that's how easy it is. Like, and you can get taken to court and you can do prison time for hurting Joe's feelings. Crazy. Oh, are you really, Koof? Tell us about it. It's a clampdown on social media. It is. So at the start of the year, I didn't do a video about it because, like, I didn't think it was going to get much traction, and it didn't really. So they actually tried to. So there was a time in Victoria where, like, say, for instance, Chopper Read, right, didn't make 1 cent from the movie Chopper Read. And that is because the victims of crime have made it so hard on ex-criminals that, and so Chopper Read was actually one of the first people to get hit with this shit. And so Chopper Read made, I think off his first 3 books, he made money. And then after that, he made nothing. And it's the same thing. And they've just quantified it now. I was taught sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. 100%. So sticks and stones will break your bones, but names will never hurt you. Never hurt you. 100%. But a fucking claw hammer will. That's what I always used to say on the end of it. Sorry, I just had to add that in there. But I was taught that too. And all those old sayings or old adages are so far out the window right now that it's just, that's it. True. Oh, you'll be able to sign up, Tex. You'll be able to sign up, bro. See, don't feel like you're the only one that I miss comments, brother. They're going at super speed there, and I didn't even see my mumsy saying good night. So don't feel like it's directed at you all the time, homie. Yeah, I think it's troubling times ahead, and I think that maybe it's something that will get like turned around with a different government in place. Once again, I am not political. I don't fucking subscribe to that bullshit. I really don't. And I often say this, and there's no way that I can prove that I do or I don't. So I go into voting booths, and I literally, it's like illustration day for me on voting day. And I make specific illustrations for each person that's putting their name out to vote, and that's how I put my vote out there. So yeah, it means nothing to me, really. Although I'm probably leaning more to, I don't know. A lot of people, let a lot of people are saying this, right? That Pauline Hanson will be the next Prime Minister. And if you had said that to me 12 months ago, even 3 weeks ago, if you had said that to me 3 weeks ago, I would have said, stop smoking bath salts. It's not good for you. But here's the truth. It's like, yeah, it's very real. And like, it's so much closer to becoming a reality. Remember the Eureka Stockade. Love that. I love that about Australia. I love that for Australia, the Eureka Stockade. So I'm not going to go into it because it will really get me on a tangent you don't want me to go down. But if you guys don't know what the Eureka Stockade is about, and you guys are a proud Australian, I suggest you jump into Google and type in what was the Eureka Stockade all about, and you'll fucking find that it's worth flying a flag over anyway. I believe it. And so this is why I actually believe. So you know how we've got the Union Jack on the Australian flag? Yep, look, that's fucking cool, right? That's cool. But like a lot of people think it should be changed. A lot of people think we shouldn't be a republic, blah, blah, blah. I don't care because I'm not political, right? But yeah, like I agree. Why does the silly fucking dude that's on our dollar coin tell me what to do? I don't understand it. Neuropathic pain definitely gets worse with heat. Southeast Queensland has become very uncomfortable this summer. So that's where I used to live, Southeast Queensland. So I used to live in Southeast Queensland when I lived in Queensland, and yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy because it's never not, especially if you're in tropical season, it is crazy humid, crazy. When the rain's blowing in, I could love you for a million to make you feel my heart. And it don't matter. And cold, I get it in the cold. Me too. So like I feel like I live in the perfect happy medium for me. It's like, well, if it gets humid, it sucks for me. But otherwise, and then like I found like and what's weird, I found like the closer I lived to the snow, it got worse. So like Benalla is pretty close to Mount Buller. I felt like my MS was worse there. Yeah, like where I lived in my last house to where I live now is closer to the snow to where it is now. And so there's actually a little bit of research that they believe that MS is geographical. And so what do I mean by that? I mean, like, here's the true fact, yeah. And for some reason, people who live in Tasmania are more susceptible to multiple sclerosis to people that live in Kakadu. I can't explain that to you because I'm not a scientist, but like that's how they explain it. Oh, is JJ here? Oi, JJ. Love the snow. Oh, here's the truth. So I love snowboarding. I love skiing as well, actually. I love doing both. And I've done quite a bit as a youngster. But I wasn't diagnosed with multiple sclerosis when I used to snowboard. But if I'm honest, right, I think back and I can think of times like, you know, when you like, if you're at Mount Buller and you're on, what's it called? Burke Street. And like, you can literally walk up and down Burke Street, right? So I remember times when we were at Mount Buller and like we'd just be mucking around on Burke Street, which is the first like snow run there in Mount Buller. And I would like get dodgy legs. And I think back now and I think, oh, obviously that was my MS. I only get flus when it's cold. So something that people with MS also have as well, because the medication that we take, it really, really makes our immune system low. And so, yeah, I hate it because like if someone comes near me with a cold or a flu, I'm fucking getting it and I hate it. I hate it so much. When injustice becomes law, rebellion becomes duty. Is that you, Nedwood? What are you doing, Aussie Bushrangers? Quoting great great quotes from history. So we spoke about the Eureka Stockade before. So the Eureka Stockade came about in the gold rush times, and was an uprising of sorts, like Aussie Bushrangers just said. So yeah, if you guys like that kind of stuff, I like that kind of stuff because, like, you know, we didn't learn about that shit at school. I don't understand it. Why we were learning about fucking George Washington and shit. Like, who cares? I don't care. I don't care. I care about fucking Lightning Jack and fucking stuff like that. Ned Kelly, Jack Powers. Yeah, see, JD actually agrees with me. So I'm the same, yeah. So JJ will tell you. So the night that JJ come and saved me, I had some wounds after that night on my leg, and so, but the wounds came about because these people come running at me and I didn't back down, and then neither did Zeus, right? And I had Zeus with me. I swear to God, Zeus ran at these people that hard. I had two leads, yeah. I had one of the leads wrapped around my waist, and then I had the other lead clipped onto that, and then I had the lead which was back to front with a D shackle to his harness, right? And so anyway, long story short, like, these people were saying they were coming to get me, and so I didn't leave. And then yeah, when they got there, they were being heroes and blah 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 blah. And then yeah, so Zeus went at the people that hard, he literally fucking launched me. So like I couldn't stop him, and because it was like around my waist, it fully just like I was like elastic band, just went toing. They kept it hidden. Teachers brushed it over, but didn't focus on it. Here's the truth, right? I love everything about Australian culture. I have two Indigenous children who, and both of their other significant others do not care for that, and so I'll learn about it. Do you know what I mean? And so, I wish that in school we learned more about Indigenous stuff. I think that that's important for. I know there's going to be people in the chat that disagree with me, and that's your opinion, you know. But like that's my opinion. Like I think that I grew up, yeah. So my two best friends growing up were Koori, right? So I was always was very privy to that lifestyle, and I've always wondered why we didn't do that at school. Do you know what I mean? Like my best mates would be like, bro, why are we fucking learning about fucking George Washington when we should be learning about Marbo, you know? And look, I might get a bit of hate for saying this stuff, but I am who I am because I speak it how it is. And like, yeah, I'm never going to change from that ever. Whoa, when did that happen? Yeah, look, and like I feel like this isn't something that just happens in Australia. You hear it a lot. I feel like I'm very proud, right? I am very proud to be an Australian, very proud. And no one will ever take that off me. But I'm also of the belief that, you know, there were people that were hurt in this scenario. And like that's all that these people want is a little bit of recognition of what actually happened. And I don't think that's too much to fucking ask for. Because here's the truth, right? The absolute truth is this. Those same people that are arguing all that shit are arguing this same thing, saying we shouldn't be a republic. Make that make sense in a fucking world of fucking dimensions of fucking silliness. What? What? I got suspended for asking about Australian history. See, that's what sucks about that bullshit is because it's a narrative that like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not one of these fucking woke dickheads, but I'm just saying, like, it's the truth. It's like, it's the way I see it anyway. It's a narrative that they like. Here's the truth, right? When I went to school, we were still getting school 1950s stuff. Do you know what I mean? As a matter of fact, when I went through school, a lot of my primary school teachers were very old. Like a lot of them. I can remember my very first primary school teacher. And then like they just literally got older from that. And I believe that that's why. Like, and I don't even like, I'm not even saying that like, but I believe that that was the narrative that they were taught to teach, so on and so forth. Oi, Franco comes from Sicily and he loved this country. Oi, Franco, you bloody legend. Gadoosh. What's going on, Franco? Oi, listen, next time I'm in Melbourne, brother, I'm going to come over and have a look at the shop. Because, like, I've started a new collection of stuff and, like, it's actually, like, it's my new addiction, actually. So, yeah, I like to collect things. It's just something that I do. I mean, here's one I prepared earlier. But no, I'm starting to collect a certain kind of art, and yeah, I'm actually pretty happy about it. But like, I'm wanting, I'm wanting a couple of new couches for my lounge room, Franco. So somewhere in the near future. I don't mean tomorrow. I don't mean the next day. So anyway, next time I'm in Melbourne, I'll come over to the shop and we'll have a look. Oh, yeah, I agree. That's what I said before. I said we should have been learning about. Oh, I just said Marbo, but we should have been learning about Eddie Marbo. Do you know? Because at the end of the day, like everyone loves a survival story. Everyone loves an underdog story, and that's very much the case with Eddie Marbo. Like it's an amazing story. There's actually a few different depictions of the Eddie Marbo story you can watch. There's documentaries on it. There's movies on it. There's actually a pretty good movie that's got what's her name? She was in A Secret Life of Us. She's a courier lady. She's in it anyway. I have a perfect Baroque style couch for you. I don't know what that is, Franco, but that sounds like fucking cool to me. Did I say that right? I feel like that is like, yeah, I feel like I said it right. The red ensign. Ah, and so hence why the Benalla paper is called, which Benalla is Ned Kelly country, the ensign. Tech says a lot of Aboriginal truth is inside Queensland University. I was taken there to view the history of the white man arrival, but I'm still a proud Aussie regardless of the history. Oi, me too, bro. I am too. I absolutely am too. And so no one's ever going to take that off me. No one. Like, I don't care. I am I have Aussie pride massive. I am a very, very, very proud Australian. Fuck yeah, badoosh, Bluetooth it. Jamie says, when I joined the army, thanks for your service, legend, I had to pledge to serve the Queen under the Australian flag. I know, but like that's what I was going to say before. I go off tangent so much. But anyway, I think that the Australian flag. I think we should take the Union Jack off the Australian flag. Like, let's be honest. Like, the royal family's in the Epstein files, for fuck's sake. Why is that on our flag? Like, seriously, get out of here, you fuck. And I think we should have the Eureka Stockade flag taking place, which is still a very similar shape, right? So the Eureka Stockade and the Union Jack still have crossed lines on it, right? That's why I'm saying it's similar. It's the only way it's similar. But who agrees that the fucking Eureka Stockade flag should be smack bang right there where the Union Jack is? I agree. Like I'm agreeing with myself then. But that's what I reckon. Yeah, we actually do. So Turbo just said we actually have more camels in Australia than we do in Egypt. That's a true fact too. But I'll tell you a little bit of something about that. So the only reason we have camels in Australia is because the Afghan Travellers, is that what they were called? The Afghan Travellers, I think that's what they were called. So the Afghan people that built the Ghan Railway, the railway station that goes from South Australia all the way to fucking way up the top of Australia. And so they actually came over from Afghanistan. This is a true story. You guys can fact check this. So this is why we have camels in Australia. So I'm talking 1700s, yeah? So they actually came over from Afghanistan. They were called maybe they were called the Cameliers or something like that. But they were called something like that, right? They came from Afghanistan. They all came over here on a boat. This is the 1700s. Planes didn't happen then. And that's why we have all. So what they did, they came over and that's how they built the train line. They had camels. We hadn't had camels in Australia until that day. Yep, the Ghan or the Ghan. And that's why it is called the Ghan, because the Afghan, I swear to God, the Ghan Railway is called the Ghan because it was made by the Afghan Cameliers or something like that, right? And so that's why we have so many camels in Australia right now, because they brought camels. They couldn't keep them from making babies when they were out on the road building the Ghan Railway. And so that's how wild camels came about in Australia. That is a 100% true story. And so I've had that conversation with people and people try and tell me no, mate, that's not true. I'm like, that is so fucking true. That is the absolute truth. We didn't have, so like, you know, the indigenous people go back 40,000 years. Not once can you find on a brick, on a rock wall, on a tree, anywhere with hieroglyphics with a fucking camel on it. No, I'll tell you why. Because that's how they got to Australia, by the Cameliers. Pretty sure that's what they're called. What did I call them before? The Travellers. Yeah, they're Cameliers. 2 humps are camels, none at all in Australia. True story. So this is the truth as well. So they have this big camel show somewhere over in the Middle East every single year, right? And so there are people that take camels from Australia to that. And so this is the truth. They have oil barons there that are like words beyond billion that I don't even understand, yeah? So like people that are so rich that it is not funny. And so you can find yourself a wild camel, and this is the truth also. So the ugliest camel is makes the most money. So that's a true fact as well. You can fact check that as well. I've had a few Afghan friends over the past. I can even sit here and say shukran, andak baklawa, and you know what I mean. If you know, you know. And so anyway, but yeah, that's exactly what happens. So the ugliest camel makes the most money, and so every single year they do this big day out for camels. I don't know what it's called. It's like the fucking it's like the camel Grand Prix. Grand Prix. I don't know. It's like a camel Grand Prix. Oi, JJ. What are you doing, JJ? How do I manage blood tests? So JJ will be able to tell you. It's like, so the last time I went to hospital, so when I had to have lung surgery done last year, at the end of last year, and so I was offline for a little bit over that, but so they literally sneakoed me. That's how they got me. So they sneakoed a needle into me. So the lady was like, listen, well, Jess was there with me, and she said, Jess has told us how scared you are of needles, blah, blah, blah. Just know that we're going to do this the right way and you won't feel uncomfortable. I was like, yep, no worries. I said, listen, don't let a male with a needle in his hand stand in front of me. I said, because that will be game over, I promise. And she said, yep, no worries. And so they literally sneakoed me to put me under. That was when I had that surgery there. Brand new t-shirt, brand new today, just ruined the neck on it. Just posted my new vid, ready for premiere tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Well, there you go, guys. JJ's putting a premiere out tomorrow. And if you guys haven't followed her, jump over there and shoot her a follow. She's about to become a fellow YouTuber. As a matter of fact, she actually is already a fellow YouTuber. But I love it. I love it. More people should do YouTube. I think SBS says it the best. They did for so long. It used to say 6 billion stories and counting, and then it said 7 billion stories and counting. That's the truth. And like, that is the best bold statement that I've heard in the last 20 years. That means that every single person, every one of you has a story that someone wants to hear. And sometimes, you know, when you're on social media and you see a video and you go, how has that got fucking 1.5 million views? I'll tell you why. Because everyone's got a story that someone wants to hear. And that's the truth. You're a YouTuber. Oh, yeah, there you go, legends. There's JJ's channel there if you want to jump over there and shoot her a follow. Can you guys hear my dog snoring? Listen to this. Because I have a walkabout microphone now, I'm going to show you how loud my dog snores. Oh, you heard me, didn't you, with the microphone? He's just looking at me like, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing, bro? What are you doing, bro? Thank you, everyone that's jumped over and showed JJ some love. These fluffy things are so cool. What do you call these fluffy things on a microphone, mind you? I remember when I used to do TikTok, right? So you can't vape on TikTok. YouTube's pretty cool. You can have a fucking cup full of whiskey on YouTube and they'll be sweet with it. But on TikTok, you can't even have a cup of anything, like, because it might be alcohol. But anyway, so I realized a way that I could smoke vapes when I was doing lives on TikTok. And so I used to call them a vape dom. And so what it was exactly this, right? So I got one of these, which is the tip of a microphone. So I just put the tip. So, and then I put that on my vape, and then I would do lives, and I would hold the vape in my hand like this, like it's a microphone, and every so often I'd go, and that was called a vape dom. And as a matter of fact, people actually thought that I was selling them and stuff like that, and I probably could have at the time, because so many people were like, bro, that's the best idea for TikTok. Trendsetter. What can I say? Oi, Tex, are you going? Where you going, Tex? Oi, Tex, where you going? Tex. Before you go, Tex, one moment. From the stories to the struggle. It's a windsock. It's a windsock. As a matter of fact, give me a moment, guys. I'm just gonna use the ablutions and whatever. Give me 1 minute.
So here's my love, my thanks, my tune. From Biff to the Chaos Crew. You're more than fans, you're part of the name. Together we ride through the chaos and pain. Shout out to the Chaos Crew, the best on YouTube, it's true. You keep this whole thing real, every word, every view. From the heart, yeah, Biff's got you. I'm grateful every time I do what I do. Forever loyal, forever true.
Morning. Oli Oxenfree. All right, I was a little bit longer than promised. Yeah. Good times. Great music. Better people. Be here till Tuesday. Try the shrimp. All right, now for the real music. Ja. Ja. Mein Leben. Sorry, that was off Wolfenstein, not a porno. Just thought I'd add that. I can't even do it. It literally burns my brain. Stop it. River. Is this a conspiracy? Crucify me from my sin. Lost within my plans for life. Oh my God. Oi. I actually rate these new t-shirts that they've got at Kmart. I'm not sponsored by Kmart, but you guys just seen how far I ripped this fucking t-shirt down. Look at that. How I actually rate that. So these are new t-shirts. This is a whole new actually. So these are two new shirts that I got from Kmart. My extensive clothing range comes from either Kmart, Target, or the op shop. But anyway, these are a new style of clothes they have in Kmart. It's actually called box fitting and bigger. And so, right, when you're a little bit more, but as you can tell, right, longer sleeves, longer, and they're thicker too, right? They're called heavier. It says heavier. But same with the shirts, they got heaps of it. And so, like, obviously, when you're a little bit bigger, you got a little bit of a veranda over the tool shed, so to speak. If you know, you know. This kind of clothing suits is awesome. I feel like this is as close as I'm ever gonna wear to a caftan. This is like a biff caftan. This is a biff tan. It's a fucking biff tan. Through all those years, I thought I was alone. I didn't care to look around and make this. The fluffy thing on the mic is called a dead cat. Oh, that's not nice to, like, innocent cats that are, like, hurting right now. Like, true story, if you said that to Top Cat from Top Cat, if you said that to TC, he's the leader of the Top Cat gang, I reckon he would scratch you. I'm just saying. What's comfy is comfy. No, I actually love these. So because, right, so when you get other clothes, when you're a little bit bigger around, like I always say, it's a veranda over the tool shed. I don't need to explain that anymore. Yeah. And they're a little bit more giving, do you know what I mean? So, do you reckon Kmart will sponsor me? Oh no, I'm not even going to say that. I will say this though. I got an offer. I got a sponsorship cross promotion deal offer from a pretty big what do you call them? I don't know, like entity, and they have asked if I would promote their product. And I said this. This is what I said. I said, tell me more. Tell me more. And so obviously I've gone through checks already because unfortunately when you do YouTube and stuff like that, you get false and bogus offers all the time. But this one has turned out to be legitimate. And it will, if I do accept, it will be the first time I've done this and brought another something onto the Chaos Chronicles. But there is always a method behind my mayhem, guys. So I don't think that, like, say for instance, you know, there's certain products I would not promote on my page. Definitely not. But like there are certain products that I definitely would, which I think you guys as the viewers, Chaos Crew would benefit from it. I definitely would jump on board that. And so the only kind of things I would jump on board with are like, yeah, I'm not interested in like promoting someone's, yeah, do you know what I mean? I'll only promote things that will like help people in making their life better. We're a very unique channel here on YouTube, and I don't ever want to veer off that. And so like I think it's important to stay unique to what we are, and I think that yeah, like I'm super stoked. I'm super stoked that they reached out to me, and I said, tell me more. I'm interested. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what I was doing. So this is what I used to do, right? Vape Dom. That's how I marketed it. And so I'd be like, oh yeah, how you going? Fucking, I was Big Biff's haunted stuff back then because I used to do ghost hunts. And yeah, I'd be like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then we just keep blah, blah, blah. And then that's just it. And you could just go on being a TikTok liveist and they wouldn't even know. Yeah, I think like yeah, like I think that it's important when the veranda's too big and you can't see the tools, it's an issue, 100%. And look, I have steadily been losing kilos for the last like about 15 months now. So I've been steady, although there has been a few times over the last couple of months where I have broke my fast, so to speak. So the whole point of a ketosis diet, and I can't even tell you guys, so like I'll show you guys a photo. I was 147 kilos, right? That's massive. It's like now I know that there's probably people in the chat that are bigger than that, but like when I went to prison at 81 kilos. So to come out at 147 is crazy. It's like, yeah. And so what a ketosis diet is, sorry, I went off track there as I do. A ketosis diet, so people call it a ketosis diet. So anyway, it's intermittent fasting, right? That's what I do. I don't do the whole ketosis diet. I don't fucking like write down numbers and do all this shit, yeah? All I do is intermittent fasting. I fast for 23 hours a day. So come to, well, the time that you've seen before when I started the live, around 9 o'clock is where I eat. And I will eat in an hour period, right? And so you can basically, this is how good it is to do that kind of intermittent fasting, but it is very mentally challenging, I promise you. And oh wait, There we go. But yeah, I'll undo that now. Oh yeah, it is the best. I swear to God. And so like when you do the ketosis diet, you really, really notice a lot. So I've done lots of diets. I tried a lot of diets before I'd done this. And so a lot of them are very promising at the start, right? So it's the same as any exercise you do. If I wanted to start lifting weights tomorrow and put size on, I would put a lot of size on at the start. It's just how it works, right? But it's the same with losing weight as well. So all of these diets promise the same thing, but let's be honest, every diet does the same thing. They will make you lose X amount of weight at the start, and then you will slowly start backing off with the weight that you lose. So the ketosis diet was different. I tried so many diets, and why it was different is because when I was keeping it 100% ketosis, so I would not veer out of that, but I would not. So a lot of people do. So the proper ketosis diet is no carbs, no sugar, intermittent fasting, blah blah blah. Now a lot of people have changed that around, and so you can do no sugar, you can still eat carbs. Basically, I could go to KFC every single night, and if I do what I did every single day, which is walk 3 kilometers every single day and intermittent fast, I would 100% keep the weight off. And so this is how unique the intermittent fasting is. So I also did this thing which is called dry fasting, right? Which I wouldn't suggest anyone doing unless you haven't done any type of fasting before, because fasting can really fuck with you mentally. And I can't be any more real. I'm going to look straight into the camera when I say this, because everyone thinks that they can just jump on board and it's going to be okay. But I promise you, if you go from fucking, someone that's large and you eat a lot every day, and then you cut all of that back to 1 hour a day, I promise you, like, I've been on drugs that haven't given me as much mental difficulty as the ketosis diet. Like, it is very mentally challenging. And unless you've got strong mental health, you won't get through it. Like, I swear to God, because you'll wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and your brain's saying, oi, go make a fucking chocolate cake right now. You need sugar right now. Like, and that's exactly what it's like. So, yeah. And so Kevin says my metabolism's way too fast. So if you've got a fast metabolism, obviously that plays a part in every single diet that you do. So whether you've got a fast metabolism or a slow metabolism, they play big parts in dieting. Oh yeah, that's what I was doing. I was showing you a photo. So I was rather large, and it's not something that I'm embarrassed of. It is what it is, and do you know what I mean? Like, as much as you may hate your past, it's not a hard drive. You can't erase it, So you've got to just learn to deal with it, I suppose. But yeah, I was my own worst enemy. I gave myself type 2 diabetes as well in that time. I actually got really, really unhealthy. So I got MS before I put weight on, but that definitely didn't help in the time that I was. So I was doing this every single night, yeah. So I did not care. I would eat 2 packets of Fruity Chews every single night. So if you guys don't know, that's so much sugar, yeah. It's a lot of sugar. And so I was eating 2 of those every single night. Also, like, desserts with every single meal. Plus we cook our own meals. So we'll cook in like fucking mad carbonaras and stuff like that. Crazy spaghetti bologneses that you have to use bulk oil in because you get very minimal ingredients. And yeah, I actually got really, really unhealthy, and ended up in hospital a couple of times because of my weight. Have you watched The Notebook? Look, I have no shame in saying that I have watched The Notebook. I know it's a Ryan movie, and I am. Don't let my looks fool you. I am a human being at the end of the day, and I do have a rather soft side actually, and I am a little bit partial to a bit of a romance, especially one like The Notebook. And like, look, I'm not even gonna lie. The first time I watched The Notebook, I fucking cried. You can say what you want. It is what it is, and yeah, I fucking cried. Whatever. And I'll tell you what made me cry, but it was her, the way that she says, you know, the scene when she's like, "You're really sad, it's gonna out, it's gonna out." I was like, oh no. I fucking feel you, poor bugger. Oh, look, there's Biff and JJ. All right, I'll show you. Big Biff photo. Hence how the name Big Biff came about. What? Is that you on a catwalk? Jan Sheedy's School of Modelling. See that in the background? Jan Sheedy's School of Modelling. Do you know, true story, the song that was playing in the background is "Oh What a Night." Da, 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 late December back in 63. And I was always the youngest person. Bless my mother's cotton socks. She tried so hard to not have me turn out the way I did. She put me into modeling and then put me into acting, blah, blah, blah. Just quickly, there's me in blue. There's me on the Just Jeans catalog. One more. Blue, more Just Jeans catalog. So that was the catalog that I did with Jimmy Barnes. And just one more quickly. That's me on the Coles commercial. So if you remember that ad, so if you're around my age, I'm 42. If you ever had to, when you're in primary school, and if you ever had to collect orange dockets for your school, and there was an ad that you had to watch that explained that, that's me. That's me. And that's the Beverly Hills people. Anyway, I'll show you a fat photo. Yeah, there's me, my profession. It's crane driver. All right, you can't really tell here, but you can see, look how long my hair used to be. That's my hair. I had one of those plaits at the back of my head, which was not a fucking rat's tail. My God, the amount of time I spent in the slot for people saying, fuck, that's a mad rat's tail, bro. Excuse me? All right, so you can kind of see here. This is me with Ryder not long after I got out. You can see I'm much bigger there. Yeah, I was still with the bike club there actually. Oh, no shit, right? So like that was 2018. That's Ryder. So Ryder is now like 6'2", like crazy. Oh yeah, there's me CBRRR. That when I got out, because I was on non-association, I couldn't have a Harley. Blah blah blah. That's what I bought, and then I realised very quickly that that was probably going to kill me quicker than a Harley ever would. Just so you know, I'm not talking trash. Um, well, there's me and Mum there. I'm a lot bigger there. Yeah, that's me there as well. I've got an ankle bracelet on there. Well, that was when I was in Queensland too. That was the hardest thing ever because the Governor General wouldn't give me parole in Victoria because I was a bikie and I was on non-association. So he wouldn't give me parole here. So I had to get parole to Queensland. When I get paroled to Queensland, my first ever time in parole, I've got 2 ankle bracelets on, and they were like the people that were in there, like on parole as well or on a corrections order, were like just staring at me, and I was like, "What the fuck are you staring at?" And they were like, "Why are you wearing an ankle bracelet, mate?" It's like, "What do you mean?" Anyway, yeah, you can see I'm quite bigger there. Yeah, I don't think I've got any more. But yeah, that's how long my hair was. I know you've all seen this 100 times now. So that is actually shorter than it actually was. I cut it before I got out just because it had like really dead ends on it. Oh, 100%. Like I've come really a long way. Like I've come very far. And yeah, it's something that I'm actually very proud of. And like I have 100%, I have such a better quality of life now that I don't do that anymore, and I don't like eat like shit. I didn't care about anything back then, and I guess yeah, that's exactly what happened. Um, I'll show you one more photo just quickly before I go. Oh, where'd it go? Yeah, fuck. Oh yeah, so this is what the ankle bracelet looks like. So they both look the same actually. One was a GPS ankle bracelet, and the other one is a drug and alcohol ankle bracelet. Oh yeah, you can see that one's a little bit longer than the last one. So, as a matter of fact, when it was at its longest, when I sat on the toilet, this is disgusting, but it's the truth. I actually had to bring it over my shoulder like this because it would dangle around me freckle. Oi, Skull and Bones, you bloody legend. Better chicken pies, you reckon, Scott? You should connect with Scotty Ryan. He's on a new project. Oh yeah, what's he up to now? Yeah, oi, I seen that too. I was going to do a video on it, Tex. So, yeah, so that's the truth. So although they're still not saying the investigators aren't saying, the police, whatever, aren't saying, the news are, and so Gus's grandparents, um, the grandma pa, the grandpa ma, the grandma pa, and the grandma have both seeked they have both seeking separate legal representation, and yeah, I would imagine. So if you guys don't know, so absolutely the best thing that could have happened in that whole situation. So the investigation has now been switched from a search to a major criminal investigation. Yeah, look, I'll be on here for a little bit. I was just about to say, everyone, yeah, as I said before, like I've been a little bit breaking my fast and whatnot. But that that's why I would have jumped off so I can finish off eating my dinner. Obviously, I only had one Kiev there. Yes, it's past my hour, but I'm still not going to go outside my So yeah, well, I mean, would you rather me stay or go and get my dinner quickly? And would you rather me go rather, or go and get my dinner quickly and then I'll just have my dinner and stay? Decepticons. Oi, Skull, I will be coming over there, mate. I promise you. It's just, as you can imagine, with a criminal record like mine, it's a lot more difficult to get my visa. Yeah, so that's something that we're working on in the future because, yeah, like I said, I really want to see how far we can take this YouTube, and that means outside of Australia. I've worked so fucking hard. I've never, since I've been 20 years old, even since I've been 18 years old, actually, been allowed to leave the country because I've been on some kind of parole, some kind of corrections order. I've not been able to do very much, and so for the first time in my life since I've been 18 years old, I'm now allowed to do whatever I want. I don't have any court hanging over my head. I don't have anything holding me back. I am a fucking free man. Oh, 100%. I know. Oi, Skulls, I know that I have no problem getting into where you are. That's not an issue. But it's the countries that I go to. I don't want to go somewhere and get fucking stuck. Yeah, I am legitimately frightened of that. That is my biggest worry about traveling, because I have a very, very extensive criminal history. I am very scared to travel, like, because of that. Because I don't know, I'm paranoid as it is. Like, I'm generally a paranoid person. I don't go overboard with paranoid. Like, I don't no longer think that there's people in my roof trying to, I don't know, scare me while I'm sleeping. You know, I'm no longer sticking holes in the roof and filling them up with gas like I used to and trying to blow them to kingdom come. Um, but yeah, I have healthy paranoia, I will say. And I am legitimately paranoid about going to one of those countries where you hear of shady things happening like that. And I think it's a legitimate fear. It's a fear of mine. And so I will be very, very, very cautious when I travel. But yep, that's true. Oi, so Gunny just said some countries don't admit people. So here's the truth, right? What Gunny said is actually true. So some countries don't admit people with criminal records, and it gets worse than that even, right? So some countries will let you in. They will let you spend your whole fucking life savings on the holiday of a lifetime, and then when you get there, they're going to go like this. Okay, Mr. Hill, what you doing here? Why you here? Why you here? Why you have gang tattoo on your face? I tell you why. Because you are drug smuggler. You are Chappelle Corby. You go to jail. And I have legitimate scares about that. I am so fucking scared about that happening. Oi, Lorraine, good night, you bloody legend. And sorry, I know you probably said that 3 minutes ago, but yeah, it's so slow on Restream. I'm going to fucking speak to the Restream ombudsman and say, listen, buddy. I have a boat. I'll get you Biff Scotty Cruises and the Chronicles. True? Oi, that sounds like a fucking band. Oi, that sounds like, oh my God, what was that movie? I used to love it. Eddie and the Cruisers. Oh my God. Oi, I love this part of my lives, actually. This is where we start getting all nostalgic. I actually fucking love this because one person will say one thing, that'll trigger a memory, and then that person says that memory, and it's like, this is one of my favorite parts of the lives that we do, guys. I fucking love this. So what I want to actually do before I go is I want to have a chat to you legends about these gaming nights that I'm going to try out. I don't want to stress anybody out too much. It is something that is in the very young stages, and but yeah, it's something that I'll talk about. I'm just going to go grab my din-dins, and then I'll be back, and then we'll have a chat about it. I'm pretty excited about that as well, because I know there's a lot of people here, right, that game. They're my age, they game, and I actually know that there's a few people that have started gaming because we all game, and I think that that's fucking awesome. Badoosh. Like, I promise you right now, there's nothing better. There's nothing better. Like, I can't tell you, I've killed 150,000 people in the last 3 years, and it's all legal because it's on Call of Duty. So, Yeah, it's the best feeling ever. You can really, really alleviate your anger problems when you've got a fucking scar in your hand, or a fucking Oz Styer, or a fucking whatever. You know what I mean? It's really, really relief for when you've angry times. I alleviated so many anger problems by shooting people on Call of Duty. And it's so good because you don't go to jail. It's awesome. Biff, do you mean video games or do board games or top RP? No. So I am open to all games, but that is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, so you know what I mean. I love gaming. So where I am sitting right now, we've got one gaming PC there. We've got one gaming PC there. I've got two Xboxes in there. Like I love gaming, yeah. And as a matter of fact, gaming helped so much keeping me out of prison. There's no two ways about it. And I love it because like it lets me shut off to a world that's different. And I love that. I don't know. It's very different gaming. And especially when like you get into gaming like on the level that I like it. Do you know what I mean? Like I like really big fucking role player games, like someone just said RPGs. Like I love RPGs on Xbox and consoles and on PC and stuff like that. I don't really like Rust, yeah, and I know people, I'm gonna get hate for that. I have Rust, I have a Rust account, but I don't really play it. Now, DayZ is very much the same at the moment, actually. So there was a time where you could play DayZ and you'd be like, "Oh, I love DayZ because it's nothing like Rust. Like it's not glitchy, it's not fucking, you know." But it's very much like that now. But I love them big games. Yeah, I love it. And yeah, there's no two ways about it. Xbox keeps me out of prison. Um, but yeah, it didn't keep me in a dictionary, obviously, because I just said keeped. There's me primary school fucking talk coming out. I don't like Rust. Yeah, oi. You got to get Crimson Desert. I've got so many games that people, because like I'll put another notification tonight before I go to bed on there. It's 11:11, guys. Um, I know there's many different reasons what people believe that is for, but it's 11:11 now, and whatever you believe that number is. Some people believe it's an angel number. Some people believe it's a number that's supposed to make you be aware of something that's happening at that particular time. I think it's a very unique number, and I see it at least once a day. I don't go looking for it either. I've got a very bad fucking memory. So I can promise you the last thing in the back of my mind is going, hey, it's almost 11:11. Go find a clock and tell people it's 11:11. Yeah, I don't do it. Anyway, I'll be back in a sec. I'm going to leave you guys with some music. Just see what I was about to do. I was about to take my fucking... I'm still learning, guys. I'm still learning. I was like, in my head, I was like, I've got to take my microphone off because they don't want to hear me go to the toilet and so forth. 4:20 time even. But I almost grabbed my... You guys can't see that because of my camera, but I've got an earpiece in there. Oi, how crazy are these things? I think that I actually surprised you that how small these things actually are. All right, so you know how small these are, yeah? These Yowies, they are very small, yeah? This is smaller than a Yowie. Actually, I'll show you the other one without the muff detector on it. I mean, wind detector. I mean, what is it? Muff detector. I'm sure that's what it's called. All right. It's actually smaller than the Yowie. Look. Oh, as a matter of fact, it's about the same size as my big toe. This is my little robot. This is what I stick into. This robot is made out of metal. And people sitting there right now going, that's not made out of metal, you dickhead. Where? Why are you not stick now? No way. I literally just had this stuck to that head somehow. I am aware that this is made out of glass and it's just got a gloss on it. But there was somewhere on this before that this magnet stuck to. Oh, maybe it didn't. I don't fucking know. Do you want to see my cool PC? Look at my PC. That's Jax Teller from Sons of Anarchy. Look at him go. Yay, yay. Right, I'm back in a minute. So I'm going to do, I've told you guys, I'm just waiting on a couple more things to come and then I'll do a bit of an MTV cribs, but it's going to be of course, it's going to be TCC cribs. Would it be anything else? And I'll show you guys how I live and I'll show you guys my house. And I'll show you guys, I'll be very, very transparent. Anyway, I'll be back in a moment, guys. I'm going to put some music on. I'm going to put that microphone there. I'm going to put my Yowie back in the Yowie collection. Oi, I'm not even joking. So the last 2 nights in a row, my fucking Harry Potter wand has fallen off. I swear to God, if I hear Hermione start going, it's not Wingardium Leviosa, it's Wingardium Leviosa. Anyway, true story. Keeps falling off my shelf. That's the actual Harry Potter wand. What? You don't have a Harry Potter wand? All right. Rock out with your Harry Potter wand out. I swear to God, 2 nights in a row, come on. And right, what makes it up? So like, Zeus is super alert, yeah? And the studio, doors open in this house, but he can't do it with the office. And I swear to God, last night when it happened, he was losing it. Woke me up, scared the shit out of me, and he's like fully. So when I woke up, I hear him jump out of his bed and go row, 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 row. And I like wake up, shoop, and he just goes whoa, 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 poof, straight into the door. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? In my head, I was like, if that wand has fallen off again, I swear to God, 2 nights in a row. But no shit. True story. How? How did that happen? But true story, look, this is all ghost hunting equipment. Look, that's a spirit box. That is a Quake pod. That's a REM pod. That's a different type of REM pod. That's an EMF detector. Electromagnetic frequency. So that's all my that's all being used. So every single part of that equipment has been in the most haunted places in Australia. Every one of them on the east, on my side of Australia. So I have never been to Western Australia, ghost hunting, or South Australia, but I've been everywhere else and like been in the most haunted buildings, and they've been with me. So yeah, quite possibly. I do have proper white sage and everything like that. I often white sage my house. I am very spiritual. Not the spiritual, like I don't like read the Bible and say that's how I want to live my life. I believe in things that other people may not believe in. Anyway, I'm back in a minute. Leave the world. Lock my door, there's a cemetery gate. Baby.
As I walk
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death,
I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long. My mama thinks that my mind is gone, but I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Me be treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. You better watch how you talking and where you walking. Or you and your homies might be lying in chalk. I really hate the trip, but I gotta low. As it croak, I see myself in the pistol smoke. Fool, I'm the kind of G the little homies wanna be like. On my knees in the night, saying prayers in the street light. Been spending most their lives living in a gangster's paradise. Been spending most their lives living in a gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our lives living in a gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our lives living in a gangster's paradise. Look at the situation they got me facing. I can't live a normal life. I was raised by the streets, so I gotta be down with the hood team. Too much television watching got me chasing dreams. I'm an educated fool with money on my mind. Got my tin in my hand and a gleam in my eye. I'm a low-down gangster, set tripping banger, and my homies is down, so don't arouse my anger. Fool, death ain't nothing but a heartbeat away. I'm living life, do or die, what can I say? I'm 23 now, but will I live to see 24? The way things is going, I don't know. Tell me, why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? Been spending most their lives living in a gangster's paradise. Been spending most their lives living in a gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our lives living in a gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our lives living in a gangster's paradise. Power and the money, money and the power. Minute after minute, hour after hour, everybody's running, but half of them ain't looking. It's going on in the kitchen, but I don't know what's cooking. They say I gotta learn, but nobody's here to teach me. If they can't understand it, how can they reach me? I guess they can't, I guess they won't, I guess they front. That's why I know my life is out of luck. Fool, been spending most their life living in a gangster's paradise. Been spending most their life living in a gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our life living in a gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our life living in a gangster's paradise. Tell me, why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? Tell me, why as I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Me be treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. You better watch how you talking and where you walking. Or you and your homies might be lying in chalk. I really hate the trip, but I gotta low. As it croak, I see myself in the pistol smoke. Fool, I'm the kind of G the little homies wanna be like. On my knees in the night, saying prayers in the street light. Been spending most their lives living in a gangster's paradise. Been spending most their lives living in a gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our lives living in a gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our lives living in a gangster's paradise. Look at the situation they got me facing. I can't live a normal life. I was raised by the streets, so I gotta be down with the hood team. Too much television watching got me chasing dreams. I'm an educated fool with money on my mind.
One more moment, guys.
In my head and a gleam in my eye. I'm a low-down gangster, set tripping banger, and my homies is down, so don't arouse my anger. Fool, death ain't nothing but a heartbeat away. I'm living life, do or die. What can I say? I'm 23 now, but will I live to see 24? The way things is going, I don't know. Tell me, why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? Been spending most their lives living in a gangster's paradise. Been spending most their lives living in a gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our lives living in a gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our lives living in a gangster's paradise. Power and the money, money and the power. Minute after minute, hour after hour, everybody's running, but half of them ain't looking. It's going on in the kitchen, but I don't know what's cooking. They say I gotta learn, but nobody's here to teach me. If they can't understand it, how can they reach me? I guess they can't, I guess they won't, I guess they front.
I guess they
That's
front.
why I know my life is out of luck, fool. Been spending most their life living in a gangster's paradise. Been spending most their life living in a gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our life living in a gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our life living in a gangster's paradise. Tell me, why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me?
Oh yeah, look. If I'm honest, I'll turn this music down. Yeah, look, I didn't know this, but like there is a never-ending well when it comes to PCs if you want a good PC. And I guess like the truth is, right? So in the time that I've been using PCs, which has not been long, since 2023, I bought my first PC. And yeah, I've learned that some PCs are a lot more forgiving than other PCs. But here's the truth. So I've learnt myself in the last few months with Gunhead, the absolute legend, who's an absolute tech genius. Let me tell you guys, like there isn't anything about technology that Gunhead doesn't know. Like, I promise you on that. And yeah, I've also learned that although some PCs may be more unforgiving than the other one, they're actually quite rudimentary. I don't know what the word is, but like they're quite simple to use if you understand what you're doing. And I understand what I'm doing a little bit more than I did before, but I am by no means tech savvy. But yeah, Gunhead's an absolute fucking genius when it comes to this shit. Yeah. So there hasn't been one time, not once, right, when I've had a tech issue, like say on a live, yeah, which reminds me, I've been on for 2.5 hours. I've had the fan there, so it should be pretty sweet. I'm actually gonna look at this here. I mean, I know it's not the best aesthetics, but we'll just make sure we're not going to go off live. Oh, actually, I might be able to do something else. One sec. So I'm waiting on a new desk fan to get, so like an actual desk fan. It's fucking heavy, that thing, mate. My PC, that is. I remember, right? So when I got it, the dude dropped it off, and I remember seeing him get it out of the car, and I was like, "Bro, you're really putting on a show here. Like that PC is not that heavy." When he passed it to me, I was like, "Oh damn, that's fucking actually that heavy." But this PC in particular has 9 cooling fans. It has Corsair, a Corsair. I don't know how to say that. I think I'm saying it right. Water cooling. So my PC has water cooling like some cars. I remember when I found out that was a possibility, I was like, "There's no way in hell there is no way in hell that my PC is going to be able to run a fucking." But what do you know? True story. Wait. No, stop that. All right, that's enough of that business. Don't even, Jamie. I swear to God, actually I'm gonna do it when I'm right here, right now. So I'm not gonna be able to see you guys for about a minute. I'm gonna clip this back on my lapel. Fucking so educated these days from my merchandise store. All right, I'm just gonna quickly. Where am I here? All right, let's go. All right, so at the minute, guys, I can't see you. What am I doing here? No, that's right. All right, good stuff. Oh yeah. Oh, Gunhead says, true story though. Gunhead says, I know how to build a computer blindfolded. I was doing it during the Pentium 2 area. Wow, I remember people talking about that. Maybe in computer class, what I got kicked out of all the time. Yeah, my computer teacher was actually the middle school coordinator, and I was always in her office, which was right next to the computer room, like for my luck. But yeah. Elon Musk PC Grok takes up an aircraft carrier and takes enough power to run a city, massive gas power plants. So I don't know if you guys know this, but I'll give you a little secret on Grok that's going around in the AI world right now. So Grok is about to get outlawed in most countries. Most definitely our country is probably going to be the first country to outlaw Grok. And so what is Grok? So if you guys have got Twitter or anything like that, so Grok is the AI engine that they use on Twitter, right? But it's also its own app and website, blah, blah, blah. It is also one of the only AIs out there that you can jailbreak. Now, I'm not going to go into this for my own protection, but remember, like, how you can jailbreak iPhones and stuff like that and do crazy stuff to them? Well, AI is the same. And so Grok still allows you to do this. And but yeah, so this is why Grok is getting banned, is because there's a lot of like backdoors to other AI realms in Grok. And yeah, so they're trying to alleviate that right now and they're trying to stop it. But so like people have used, true story, people have used Grok. So what they've done is they've written, so Grok is that smart. So AI is that smart. It does computer coding and everything, right? So I don't know if you guys have ever taken a look at computer coding, what it looks like, because I know when people say computer coding, you just think numbers, blah, blah, blah. But if you've actually had a look at what computer coding looks like on a screen, it's fucking crazy. And how people know how to understand that is even more crazier. And yeah, there's Grok's about to go. But because of this, right? So like Elon Musk owns Grok. Grok has this thing called unhinged Grok, right? And so JJ was talking about it the other live, and I'd said that I'd done a little bit of unhinged Grok, but I was going to do some so I could tell you guys about it. Unhinged Grok is fucking crazy. So like, let me tell you something, yeah? If you are somebody who is very prone to, like, if somebody says something nasty to you and you kind of shut down or whatever. Now I know that a lot of people here, choose the flight over fight scenario, and I don't hold that against anyone. And so like, yeah, crazy, absolutely crazy. My favorite is The Watcher, which he wrote for Dr. Dre. It's the first song on The Chronic. Oh, The Chronic was actually, so I believe, and I know that if you like rap, I don't think that hip hop, rap, whatever, drill rap, anything could not have been where it is today without The Chronic, Dr. Dre's album. True story. I keep forgetting that I've got my microphone here. Thank God I remember before I go to the toilet and stuff, because yeah. Yeah, true. It's still hot. It's still so fucking muggy here. What the fuck did I just do? Yeah, it's like I'm full fucking sweating here. I have 3080 at the moment. It's okay, but a little tired. I have hammered it so hard. Yeah, look, I mean, by all means, I know enough to know that, yeah, that's still enough to handle most of the things that we do today. And I also know GeForce RTX 100%. I know all about it now, And yeah, I'm actually going to turn that a little bit on. I did my diploma in IT, but now still can't use code, but not the programs like Java. So I will tell you that, like, you know, I have tried my hand in a few of this stuff when I was on the wrong side of the law, and I tried my hand at cybercrime and got caught miserably, might I say. Now I understand why I got caught miserably, because I don't understand it. I was sponsored by VW in 2024. Oi, bullshit, we really? That's pretty cool. Oi, that's really, really cool. Yeah. Code is so outdated now. How's my dinner? So yeah, I'm not even gonna pretend that I'm gonna sit there and eat it. I will jump off shortly though, guys. We've been on for now 2 hours and 39 minutes and 27 seconds. So yeah, we will jump off shortly. I'll just leave it there and I'll eat it when I jump off. It's just too hard. I can't do it with the microphone as well. And plus, I want to have a bit of an early night, as yeah, hopefully getting a vehicle tomorrow, which will make my day, as I've not had much luck with it. Yeah, Facebook Marketplace. Who's that? Who is that? Who is it? Yeah. Oh, my dog's so fucking good. Yeah. Sit down. Who's your boy? He's like, yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here, Dad. Yes, you are, Juicy boy. He's a good boy. What is it? Who is it? Who is it? Watch him. Who is it? He's going now. He'll go on patrol and he'll come back. I've got a 100 series Land Cruiser. Oh, yeah, nice. Is he a vocal puppy or a quiet one? Zeus here. Ja. 21 Sekunden. Sit. Speak. 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 You speak. Good boy. Speak. Speak. Loud. Speak. Speak. Good boy. Yeah, he's loud. And he actually works on command as well. Yeah, he's a good boy. Oh, yeah. Where is it? Come in. Who is it? Who is it? Watch him. Watch him, Zeus. He's a good boy. It's all right. It's okay. It's all right. You're all right. Oh, no. All right. Now, come on. Other way. Come on, back. Back. No, come on. Back. Oh, no, Zeus. Everyone loves you, Zeusy. Everyone loves you. Do you know what they said, though? They said you're a small bully. Someone in the chat said you're a small bully. They said you're probably you're probably a bully standard and not even an XL bully. Oh, Zeusy. Yeah, go to the toilet. Do you want to go to the toilet? No. Come on, out now. Out. Out now. Come on, out. Come on. So he's got this thing. It's dog eczema. If anyone's got a bully or a staffy or anything, they'll know. Most of them have it. But yeah, he's just been scratching at it under there. I just noticed that he was bleeding under his chin here. No. You're not coming in here when you're bleeding. On your bed. Go on. On your bed now. Go on. On your bed. On your bed now. Go on. That's not your bed. I'll give you a look so you can see how big he is, right? Dizzy boy. Yeah. Come here. Yeah, come here. Come on. He's big. So he actually weighs 79 kilos. Well, actually, so I'm so used to saying that because he was at a like stalemate of 79 kilos for like over 12 months. He's got his own set of scales and yeah, so he's actually gone over. So he's now 81 kilos. I'm pretty happy about it. So his dad is actually the biggest bully in Australia right now. Do you know what? That would have been the worst thing that could have ever happened. I couldn't find my phone, and I swear there was a little corner of it sitting out from the base of the fan, which is like a dome. So it was sitting over the phone, and like it had this much to go. That would have been the worst thing ever. That dome would have stopped the radio signal, and maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, it's on silent because I'm in my office and I wouldn't have been able to find it because it would have been under the fan. I would have been really loving life. Look at the shoulders on this fucker. Yeah, that's where he should be, on your bed. It doesn't even matter. I put his bed right at the door. So, like, the door is right there. I sit his bed right at the door. Does not matter. He has to come and sit right at. And so, like, you guys have seen it on the live tonight. I've actually nearly run over him like 3 or 4 times with my chair. Are you going up on your bed now? I can do this thing that makes him move really quick. What? What happened? Did you get bullied? Did you get bullied? What happened? What happened? Oh, you watch this one then. Ready? Bluetooth. Bluetooth. Good boy. So don't worry. We all Bluetooth. And he slobbers. The silky look on his coat. So his coat, so his color, when it comes to bullies, there's rare colors, right? And so here's what's called a tricolor. So they have the same like markings as this picture here, right? So they have the white dots above their eyes, and that's actually my kennel name, Platinum Outlaw Bullies. But as you can see, they've got the lighter dots above their eyes like Rottweilers or Dash Hounds and stuff like that. They're called tries. Every breed calls it a tricolor except for a Rottweiler. So he is what's called a ghost lilac tri. So he is the rarest color that bullies have until this color started coming about. So that is a chocolate tri. Now I don't understand why that is rarer, but it's only because you need to have certain colors in your dog breeding makeup to make that color. And so Zeus's mum has Merle in her. So if you guys know what Merle is, it's like, but Merle's not a color, and I argue with people about this all the time. Merle is not a color; it's a mutation. Merle is a mutation gene, and I have this argument with people all the time. Like, Merle is not a color. If you have a Merle dog, it has the Merle mutation gene. So every single dog has a Merle color. That's just proof right there. Ghost lilac tri, correct. I'm just going to chuck this here for 1 sec, just so you guys don't have to hear me fucking scoffing my food down. Boy, this is how good this freaking clip is. Boy, what about that though? I am actually super pumped in this. Look at that. Like, if this was a normal, like if that was a V shape or a normal, what do they call them? Crew neck. Like, because this is the heavier, like this is like so much heavier, but you can get the heavier and the bigger in small too. But you guys, like, I buy Kmart clothes all the time, and I actually asked Jack. Wait, I'm pretty sure. All right, do your work. You're a big fan of mine. I'll move that so you guys don't have to hear the. Wait, Is the camera there? Can you guys see the camera? Hey, that's a good idea, Bush Rangers. Can you guys see the camera? Because it's back on. Yeah, but can you see my camera now? Yeah. All right, sweet. That's all I wanted to know. All right, let's go. Good idea. How do I do this one? All right, give me one moment. I'll get it up. Yeah, I'm not even going into it. All right, so people asked me to do this, so that's why I'm doing it. All right, so and Wooshka.
Won't go down without a fight. Believe that more blood will be shed, and whether or not that's from Desi seeking revenge in person and seeking out the people that he hates, or whether this will
I'm
be
still here, don't
more
worry.
in the mountain terrain when he feels cornered and scared.
So why is there so many stark differences from the start of the Desi Freeman news situation to now? It is absolutely bonkers. They literally were calling this guy Hannibal Lecter at the start, and now he's an accused person. But what's going on?
All I have in this world is my laws, my word, and I don't break them for you. Looks like
Rightio Legends, Chaos Chronicles, and we're back again with another banger. And so today we're doing a Desi Freeman update. So I have noticed something, and I'm wondering if everyone else has noticed this. So before we get into it, guys, if you haven't already subscribed, please jump down there, shoot me a subscription. That'd be absolutely appreciated. And if you smash that bell icon, you'll never miss any of my clips again. All right, well, let's get into it. So I guess, we all would have realized that in the last couple of days that a new search has taken place for Desi Freeman. Now, throughout all the news articles, at the start, there was a little bit of a mix of them saying they believe that he's alive and some saying that the police believe that he is dead. So, but what I realised very, very early on is that all of a sudden, the police are calling him an accused killer. They're not saying that he ambushed the police. Then they're not saying all the horrible, crazy stuff that they were saying at the start. Now I'm going to show you one of the very earliest news articles that was brought out by the Daily Mail.
One moment,
and it's
legends.
absolutely crazy. Like, they actually speak about Desi Freeman like he is Hannibal Lecter. And I don't understand it. I once knew a man from Horsham who took out his beep to wash him. His mother said, "Jack, if you don't put him back, I'll get out a hammer and squash him." I once knew a man from Leeds who swallowed a packet of seeds. In half an hour, his beep was a flower and his ass was a patch of weeds. I once knew a man from Nantucket who's... No, we're not even going to say that. The old black bull said, how about another year down by scrubbery? Mine's nice and rubbery, the other black bull said. You can go to buggery because mine's all red and sore. Moving on. A massive difference in the way that they are talking about Desi Freeman. They're saying everything is alleged. They believe that is alleged that this happened. Now, what I don't understand is there is as many reports out there today that are saying that they believe that Desi Freeman is dead. So this is what I don't get. If they believe that Desi Freeman is dead, why is there such a massive difference in the way that they are talking about Desi Freeman today? Because I'm about to show you something, and it's just crazy that there's an absolute massive difference, and it shows, and it leaves me to wonder why. So if Desi Freeman was dead, obviously you wouldn't have to worry about things you have to worry about in other news when you put news out there, like if you slander somebody's name or whatever, they can get you for defamation of character and slander and all that stuff. But if he's dead, that they can't do that. Do you know what I mean? So I don't understand why all of a sudden it's everything is alleged, and it's a massive difference, because at the start they literally go into absolute detail, and in the video that I'm about to show you, the lady actually says that she believes that there will be more blood before Desi Freeman is found, and goes into detail. It's just crazy, but it leaves me wondering why. Why are they saying this all of a sudden? What is the reasoning behind it? And there's a massive contrast difference here. What is behind it? Let me know what you think in the comment section, guys, and I think this next bit's going to blow your mind. I haven't seen this at all, so I think they must have just put it back up there. But yeah, bonkers. Rightio, so before we get into it, so have a look here. It says Desi Freeman Truth. All your questions answered. Daily Mail. Well, rightio, let's get into it. But I think the most damning statement of all is right at the very start.
I believe that more blood will be shed. There is no doubt in my mind that this man won't go down without a fight.
That's a very, very bold claim. And I noticed that along the way, so this young reporter here has made a bit of a name for herself for being a little bit, how you going, I'll say. You know, she rocked up to Gus Lamont's family house and she had the shotgun pulled on her. But I know a lot of people were over listening to her give her opinions from sitting in. Rightio. There we go. Oh, yes. Fake news? Who says that? Moving on. We're better than that today, legends. Wait, you guys can see me, yeah? And hear me? Okay. Looks like it. What's your favorite game of all time? Well, I would probably say that my favorite game of all time is a game that they don't even have anymore. So it was a game that used to be called Siphon Filter, and I just loved that as a kid. I know that like that was like big for me, and yeah, this was way before live gaming and online gaming and all that shit. So that was next level. Um, and yeah, there was a few series to that game, and it was pretty good. I think it may have been a Tom Clancy game, maybe. But that was one of my favorite games, and I loved that so much before games got a little bit too. But that was like when first player games became like first player shooters became different, because that was like, if you guys remember, the first game was like the original Grand Theft Auto was. You were actually watching it all from above. So the original Grand Theft Auto, I remember it. It was on Sony PlayStation, and that's exactly what it looked like. It was all from above. Siphon Filter is on PC now. Bullshit! Don't tell me that. Don't tell me. Don't say that. I have punched people in the mouth for saying less. Don't say that. Obviously, I'm joking there. Original Ghost Recon. I am a big fan of all Tom Clancy's games, and they were always good. Now I remember the first Tom Clancy game that came out, and I was like, "Is this a movie or a fucking game?" Like, this is so, the graphics was crazy. That's how good it was. That's how good it was when you went from Sony PlayStation 2 to Xbox. It was like next level graphics. Then I remember the next game that I played was called Splinter Cell. That was the first game. So some people, when they bought Xbox, they would have got, when you bought your Xbox when they first came out, they used to come with a Splinter Cell game. And I remember the first time I seen it, and this is what made me buy an Xbox. I went to drop off stuff at a mate's house, and there were people in his shed playing a game, and I was like, "Are you fucking playing that? That looks like a movie, bro." And that was Splinter Cell. And I remember I was like, "What the fuck is this?" He's like, "This is Xbox, bro. This is the new gaming console." And I was like, "No way." And I'll tell you how I got my first Xbox, because I knew the girl that worked at Video Easy, and I went in there and hired it for a week. And she said, "Look, just have it for as long as you want." And she said there was some problem with the programming in the thing, and there's no way they can tell how long you've actually had it for. And that's how I ended up with my first Xbox. They actually didn't know I had it for that long, that they just forgot about it, and I ended up with it. And yeah, I don't know. That might be illegal. I don't know. But yeah, that's how I ended up with my first Xbox. Tom Clancy is Splinter Cell, 100%. Yeah. That's exactly why I brought Tom Clancy out. I'll tell you what, anyone who's ever had a mustache or a beard, you understand when you've had one why they call them a soup strainer. But it really, really should just be called a face mat. Like, it's dead set the same as what a doormat does on your front doorstep. That's what your mustache does. literally just like filters everything that you put in your mouth, everything. Bro, wait till I explain what emulation is. It sounds exciting already. I'll tell you what. I very recently got I found out what Unreal Engine was, and holy shit, it is crazy what you can do. I didn't know that it was so within our hands to make our own games and stuff like that. But anyway, Unreal Engine is crazy. There's so many games that use it at the moment. And I find, do you know what I like about it? I think that sometimes when you play games that NPCs are like a fucking buzzkill. Like, let's all be honest, there's nothing worse than when you're in the middle of a fucking crazy mission and fucking some NPC walks past and goes, "Hey, you didn't answer my call the other day. Hey," you know, I think that there's like something really off-putting about that. But with the Unreal Engine, these NPCs have actually got AI brains. It's fucking crazy. And yeah, I think the gaming of the future is like going to be so wild, and I think that's crazy. So I haven't played Tekken in a long time, but when I used to play, so as you know, like when you was Sony PlayStation, like Tekken and Street Fighter were like king. And yeah, I used to love Tekken on that. I remember when I got out of prison and got my first console after getting out of prison, I downloaded one of the also online gaming was so amazing. I was like, holy fucking shit. Yeah. So yeah, after doing fucking a decade in fucking prison and getting out, like so many things amazed my brain. I'll tell you what amazed me the most. This is what amazed me the most. Tap and go. Like that amazed me so much. I was like, what do you mean I don't have to put my fucking card in the machine, mate? What kind of fucking scam are you pulling here? He's like, no, you just tap. I'm like, I'm about to tap. Don't worry. Like, what are you playing at here, brother? Yeah. Things were very foreign to me when I got out of prison. Very foreign. My internet is out, so I'm playing offline. Oh, so yeah, ever since the fires, the internet's been shittier. What about the difference in mobile phones? Yep, exactly. So that was something that blew my mind. So I was lucky enough that just before I got locked up, I was lucky to see, it was like an internet something. It must have been on YouTube or something where they were showing you about the new iPhone that came out after the iPad, yeah? And I remember seeing the video for that, had Steve Jobs on it. This is how way back that was. And it was the first iPhone. And I remember that was fucking crazy. Now, I remember I seen that just before I got locked up, and then I got locked up. So when I got locked up, the new shape iPhone had came out. So remember the first one had like a rounded back and stuff like the iPad. And then the next one had like the metal, because obviously what was happening to everyone. They were dropping on the ground and the screens were falling out. And yeah, I remember, but nothing could have ever. So I remember when I got out, my beautiful mum, love you, mumsy. So my mum picked me up from prison, and my mum said, here you go, here's your new phone. And so this was when iPhone 7 was the second newest phone. So whatever iPhone 8 or whatever came out afterwards, my mum gave me an iPhone 7. Oh, actually, it might have been a couple of years old, actually, but still to me, it was like, wow, like fucking wow. And I remember sitting in the car on the way because I had interstate parole. I had to go see my children and get back to the airport, get on a plane, and fucking go to Queensland. And yeah, I remember sitting in the car with my mum, and I remember going, wow. I remember having the internet, right? Obviously, I had YouTube on my phone already before I got locked up. That was something that had happened, but we hadn't had like vertical videos and shit like that. Like, it was just like, I remember just going, wow. And my mum will tell you every single night. So every single night, my mum would have to come and wake me up because I'd fall asleep on the couch in the lounge room because I would fall asleep watching my phone. Like, was just so in awe with everything I could do in my hand. Netflix blew my mind. Netflix blew my mind. I can't even tell you. I was like, what do you mean I don't even have to go down to the fucking video shop and hire something? What do you mean I don't have to go to that dodgy machine at the supermarket and fucking tap my card and pull a fucking video out? I was like, wow. Netflix really, really like, and so what had blown me away was the fact that you had things at your fingertips right then and there. So obviously I knew about things like Foxtel, Ozstar, and all those things, Optus TV, stuff like that were around since I was in high school. And so having, obviously, the only downfall with those things were they weren't streaming services. So they were basically like a TV channel, but they gave you a TV guide of what time everything was going to be on. As a matter of fact, the Ozstar fucking TV guide was about that thick. It was crazy. And so, but I remember going into like the true crime section and just going, wow. And but YouTube had come so far. YouTube had come so far from 2010 until the end of 2018, almost 2019, which when I got out. And yeah, I remember just thinking, like, YouTube was like crazy. YouTube was like, it's very much like that now. So YouTube was like, you could like look up, say, a fucking whale attacking a shark video, yeah? And within 3 minutes, you're watching the most craziest video you've ever watched in your life. Anything was legal on YouTube back in the day, and I remember it. Like, they had like faces of death on YouTube, all that kind of shit. Like, YouTube was like fucking lawless back in the day. But I still remember getting out, and I remember seeing YouTube, and I remember going, wow. You couldn't talk to Home and Away. Oi, how funny is that? So, like, I've said this on many videos. Guys, I'm going to jump off in a minute, but I'll quickly say this before I go. Like, I've seen people almost lose their life over Home and Away. I've seen someone nearly get brown bread over Home and Away. I have seen multiple people get fucking upended over Home and Away on so many different levels. So, like, say, for instance, I've seen this happen probably over 10 times. So every single unit at Port Phillip has a fucking big TV in like the common room where everyone eats their tea or their dinner. And there's a big TV there, right? And so like everyone generally eats in that area when it's fucking mealtime, right? And so many times you see like newbies come in and they'll be sitting down and looking at the TV going like, there's fucking 50 hardened crims in this fucking unit and we're all sitting here watching fucking Home and Away. And they get up and you see them all go, we're not watching this fucking shit. Turn Home and Away off. And then instantly you feel the tension in the air because there is about 40 of them 50 people want to kill that guy. And like I've seen it happen so many times, just people sitting there eating their dinner and then like notice that Home and Away's on and then like I'm not watching fucking Home and Away and get up and change the channel. And there's literally fucking tens of bloke watching it. Like literally 40 out of them 50 people sitting in that mess area are watching Home and Away. And yeah, I've literally seen people. I've seen a dude get stabbed because he was arguing with the guy what the Blood and Sand, what were they called? The fucking River Boys, right? And so something had happened the night before, and so he'd come out the next day and he's out on the landing, the top landing, and he's walking along and he's saying, oh yeah, the fucking River Boys done this, and the bloke's like, no, he fucking didn't, mate. And he's like, no, he fucking stabbed him. And the bloke's like, he didn't, mate. Shut the fuck up. I watch it every night, mate. He goes, it's 7 o'clock TV, mate. People don't get stabbed. And he's trying to tell the bloke to step off because he's like encroaching on his personal fucking world. And I like seen this happen so many times too. And the dude's like, bro, who fucking stabbed him? I fucking seen it. And then the dude just teed off on him. Boop, 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 into his cell, straight back out. Whooshka, whooshka, whooshka. I fucking told you, mate. And it's like, bro, you literally just fucking stabbed some dude because some dude said that he fucking stabbed someone on Home and Away, the River Boys, Brax. Like, what the fuck? Crazy. I have seen so many fights over Home and Away on so many different spectrums. And so many times also on people watching Home and Away. And like, say, for instance, like it gets to a certain time, right? And then it got to a certain time when Home and Away started putting, like, Thursday nights used to go until 8:30, right? So usually, right, so you get locked in your cell at 7 o'clock, somewhere around there anyway, every jail except for Barwon, which is 4 o'clock sometimes, and some jails are 9 o'clock. But anyway, and so you get locked in, and then usually it's quiet time by 8 o'clock. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously Home and Away started putting out episodes that were going until 8:30, and you was, oh fuck. Yeah, so like there's never a dull moment in prison. And like, yeah, I reckon when I actually got asked, yeah, do you reckon you laughed or cried more in prison, right? I actually reckon I cried more from laughing so much in prison than I actually ever have. So like, yeah, it's a really, really weird environment that you couldn't even, and so I used to make it. I used to know that everyone's having a shit day. I'm having a shit day, so everyone else is having a shit day. They've had their family taken off them. You know, most people in there are drug addicts and they can't get drugs because they can't afford it. So they're having a shit day. And so I used to make people's days as best as I can, like, and I swear. And the one that used to get them, I used to do this, right? I'll do it quickly before I go. Yeah, how you going, boys? Yeah, mate, how you going? My name's Dennis. I just done 7 bricks. 7 bricks I just did. Don't fuck around. My name's Dennis. Don't believe me? So there's something about when you're having a bad day and you see someone walking in your unit like that with their legs stretched out like a fucking ibis, and it just used to make people's day. That was my character, Dennis. And I'm not going to lie, actually, that's how Dennis Allen used to dress in prison. So, true story, all the old dudes, Chopper Reed, all of them, right, used to wear their pants right up here. I'm not kidding. So, like, fully right up here. And they would all walk around the yard like this. Is so funny. Their pants are like Harry High pants and it like this. Hang on, I've got to do it. Fuck. Very unfit. Like, I'm not joking. Anyone else who done prison a long time ago would say the old boob heads used to walk around the yard like this. Good times. Great music, better people. Dennis. So Dennis Allen and all them boys, right? So when they used to get around, even on the outside, I swear to God. So Dennis Allen, you would know, right? I swear. So there's people in the chat that will second me on this. There was never a time, only at court was the only time you seen Dennis Allen not in a pair of bib and brace overalls. True story. So if you guys remember the old, like, the Carpenters bib and brace overalls, you know, they've got the old overalls clip on there. That's what he used to wear every single day. But in prison, right? So, like, you know, on certain days, you know, people wear their tracksuit pants and stuff like that. And that's how they all used to wear them. Harry High pants in it the whole time. Just fucking hilarious. Hilarious. Chopper Reed, as a matter of fact, right till the day he died, same with fucking Dennis, actually. Them dudes actually Harry High pantsed it to the day they died. And I'm shattered that I was in prison when Chopper died. Otherwise, I would have went to his funeral. But I would have made it so that he was Harry High pantsing at his funeral, you know. Oi, shout out to you, Beck, if you're watching this. And I'm not talking about that, Beck. So please, guys, don't be rude in the chat. I'm not talking about that, Beck. I'm talking about one of my good mates' wife, Frankie Waghorn. And yeah, hope you're doing all right, legend. But yeah, funny times. People were so funny, and I swear to God, the old Harry High pants in it was the thing, and that's what everyone used to do. And I used to think, what is cool about this? I don't understand it. Oh, Stevenson Street. She said that he wasn't a bad neighbor. Yeah, like, here's the truth, yeah. And so they obviously were someone that were in sweet with fucking Dennis because everyone fucking hated him. And if you didn't know Dennis, you were petrified of him and you actually probably respected him out of fear. He was that crazy. And especially if you lived in Stevenson Street, you would have seen him pulling the AK out. Like, so the police were across the road in the Dimmies building. And so, like, they were up in there. They were in other buildings as well. And so Dennis was that, like, untouchable. He used to literally shoot guns at the police and they would not do anything about it. That's how untouchable he was. True story. That guy was another level. And when I say it in videos and that, it doesn't even magnify it to a level of what he was, because that guy was the evilest guy on the block. He was the craziest guy on the block. He was the richest guy on the block. And, yeah, Dennis Allen. Oh, yeah, her family's owned their house in Stevenson Street since the 1930s. So all of those houses. So when Dennis started buying those houses, which was in the 70s, this was before all of those Victorian houses in like Richmond, fucking Hawthorne, all of those places, right? So a lot of those old Victorian places in a lot of those areas were housing commission. And so back in the day, a lot of those old Victorian places in a lot of those streets, which are the upper class streets now, were actually sold for a pittance, really, because they were all seen as like, this is before they were all classed as heritage listed and blah, blah, blah. There was a lot of housing commission in there, and obviously right through the 70s and stuff like that, especially in and around Richmond, any of those places. St Kilda was the same. Collingwood was the same. Carlton was the same. Yeah, they were all the same. You could buy those houses back in the day pretty cheap. All those terrace houses and that, they were pretty cheap. But like, when I say cheap, yeah, like I'm talking, you could have bought a terrace house for the same price you were buying a 3-bedroom house out in the suburbs. But here's the truth. That 3-bedroom house that you bought out in the suburbs is probably worth $1 million now, let's be honest. But that terrace house that you bought in Richmond's worth 3 or 4. Like, yeah, there's no comparison. Those things just went. Brian Skull Murphy was definitely working with Dennis Allen. And so here's the truth, right? I'll say this. I've never said this before, but fuck it. They're all dead now, so who cares? And they're all pieces of shit. So, do you know what I mean? That's the truth. Skull Murphy was a corrupt cop. Dennis Allen was a snitch and a rapist. There's no two ways about it, yeah? But it's no taken away from he was the craziest guy on the fucking block. But Skull Murphy, right? So I've shed light on this before, but haven't really got into it. So Skull Murphy was actually involved with that family well before Dennis was an adult. And so I don't know if you guys know, but like a lot of when Dennis was younger, he actually believed that Kath was his sister. So he was brought up believing that Kath was his sister. Dennis is the oldest. And so, yeah, he believed that Kath was his sister. And, yeah. And a murderer. Yeah, like a fucking shocking murderer too. Like a bad one. And done some... So, they say, right, they called him Dr. Death, Mr. D, whatever, right? And so, like, they say... On paper, you can read it as 13 people, but like anyone that's kind of spent any kind of time in those circles, around those circles, whatever, will know that it's more than that. It's a lot more than that. And yeah, that guy was like literally had like all walks of life walking on eggshells around him. The cops absolutely were petrified of him. You know, they actually tried to kill him a few times, and the armed robbery squad, that is, obviously, all Dennis's brothers were armed robbers, and Dennis, well, except for Peter, and but yeah, most of them were either armed robbers or drug dealers. But yeah, that's enough. That's enough. Yeah, so here's the truth too, right? So I just said, so thank you so much, BB Drum. So yeah, like I think Victor's life was kind of a little bit overshadowed by Dennis's. And I think that had Dennis not been around, if it was any other scenario, like Victor would have been the main character, if that makes sense. Like if it was any other scenario, Victor was definitely the main character in that whole bunch of people. And Victor actually had a lot more respect than Dennis. And here's the truth, like a lot of them boys, like especially now, you hear people talk very bad about him, but at the time, not many people did to their face. But Victor actually had a lot more respect and was a lot more respected by people than the rest of that clan. That's for sure. So yeah, all right, guys. Which now we're talking about this, right? So remember that this Sunday we've got a documentary on the Pettingills. It's called The Family from Hell, and it is the Pettingills, which is Kath Pettingill and her whole clan. So you've got all them boys, but there's also a few. So she had a couple of daughters as well. Some of who didn't live very. So here's the truth, right? So out of all Kath's children, there's only one that's still alive. Two that's still alive now. There's one of the females is still alive, and one of the males is still alive. Yeah, Peter's still alive. But anyway, legends, I am going to jump off. We've been on for 3 hours and 35 minutes. It is 12:35. I am, gotta get to bed soon because I am getting in the car tomorrow, and I'm hoping that all goes through. But here's the thing, right? And the reason I started talking about scams on Facebook is because you automatically know that if you're buying a car off Facebook Marketplace, that if they ask you for a deposit, that is probably a 90% chance that is a fucking scam. And so the car that I am wanting to buy did ask me for a deposit tonight, and I just said, "You're dreaming, mate." I said, "It's not happening." You know what I mean? You've got your car for sale. Do you know what I mean? Regardless of what we've spoken about, if I get there tomorrow and the car's still there, I'll buy it. If not, I'm not giving you a deposit, respectfully speaking. But yeah, thank you guys. Another awesome live tonight. I think this is the new go. This fucking thing here just gets me in trouble. And this bad boy, wait, this one. So yeah, I think this is the way to go. The sound quality seems pretty good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. But also, guys, there's a good chance I'll be live tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. If I am not live tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, it is because I am out there getting amongst it and doing some filming. Yeah, either way, I'll let you guys know. But we'll definitely be doing a premiere. We'll be doing a premiere tomorrow night. And also, guys, you don't want to miss Sunday's video. We've got the crazies that I was just talking about. So all of them crazy people. I've got a documentary that I'm bringing out, and I'm like I just did then. We'll be speaking about things that I've never spoken about before. And yeah, like I said, I'm kind of like fuck it now. They're all dead, and it's not being disrespectful when they were the most disrespectful. Do you know what I mean? And it's not like I'm saying people didn't know that they were fucking murderous fucking drug dealers. That's what they were, and that's what we all know them as. So it's not like he's going for the Archibald Prize next week anyway. So yeah, up the bum, no babies. All right. Anyway, legends, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you guys. Another freaking awesome live. They just seem to get better and better and better, and it's awesome. I love it. And yeah, the lives just keeps growing and growing and growing, guys. And yeah, it's absolutely awesome. You guys are a bunch of legends, and I'll see you all tomorrow night. Be it 7 o'clock or if I end up going live. But either way, I'll let you know if I'm going live tomorrow night. But yeah, all right, legends. Much love, much respect, and as always, don't do drugs and crime, and you won't end up in prison.